Hey truckers, today we are seeing part 24 of Villain Tricks Heroines into Hating the MC. Let's dive into the video. The battleground crackled with an intensified energy as the Dragon Prince, having invoked the Draconic sovereignty, stood as a titanic force, his draconic aura eclipsing everything around him. Jiang Qin, no stranger to overwhelming odds, faced this mighty adversary with a resolute spirit. The Dragon Prince, now fully committed to the battle, initiated the next phase with the Azure Cataclysm. He summoned a colossal azure storm that swirled around him, carrying the destructive force of draconic winds. Jiang Qin, recognizing the impending danger, hastily countered with the Vermilion Inferno Array, a defensive formation empowered by the essence of the Vermilion Bird. The clash erupted with unparalleled fury as the Azure Cataclysm collided with the Vermilion Inferno Array. The skies above trembled as the opposing forces unleashed their might. Jiang Qin, straining against the overwhelming power, marveled at the Dragon Prince's mastery over draconic energies. With a surge of determination, Jiang Qin retaliated with the Annihilation Convergence, a fusion of the Law of Annihilation and the pure ice essence of the Frost Giant. The chilling wave swept across the battlefield, threatening to freeze the draconic storm. The Dragon Prince, undeterred, countered with the Draconic Resurgence, a surge of revitalizing energy that shattered the encroaching frost. The battle reached an unprecedented intensity as Jiang Qin, pushed to his limits, unleashed the Celestial Thunderfall. Bolts of celestial lightning cascaded from the heavens, imbued with the power of the 9 heavenly lightning sword. The Dragon Prince, displaying an unmatched resilience, invoked the Draconic Domination, a manifestation of his indomitable will that repelled the celestial onslaught. In response, Jiang Qin, driven by the fusion of his powers, executed the demonic Frostfire Serpent, a serpentine manifestation of demonic ice and fire. The Dragon Prince, ever adaptable, deployed the Draconic Ethereal Shift, a fluid movement that evaded the serpentine assault. The battlefield transformed into a canvas of elemental clashes, each combatant pushing the boundaries of their abilities. Jiang Qin, sensing the urgency, integrated the Worldshaper's Wrath, a culmination of his varied powers that sought to reshape the very fabric of reality. The Dragon Prince, unyielding in his draconic might, summoned the Draconic Ascendancy, a surge of draconic energy that countered the reality-warping effects. As the battle raged on, Jiang Qin tapped into the Heavenly Devil Incarnation, a manifestation of his minor devil draconic bloodline that infused a demonic presence into his attacks. The Dragon Prince, showcasing his sovereign aura, enacted the Draconic Firmament, an expansive shield that resisted the demonic onslaught. Jiang Qin, realizing the need for a strategic shift, activated the Celestial Inferno Cyclone, a whirling vortex of celestial flames and draconic lightning. The Dragon Prince, ever vigilant, countered with the Draconic Phalanx, an impenetrable barrier formed from draconic scales that withstood the elemental onslaught. The battle continued in a relentless back-and-forth, both combatants refusing to yield. The battle between Jiang Qin and the Dragon Prince intensified as they delved deeper into the reservoir of their powers. Jiang Qin, recognizing the need for a decisive move, began fusing his abilities in uncharted ways. He initiated the Elemental Annihilation Fusion, a technique that melded the laws of annihilation, the draconic bloodline, and the elemental forces of fire, ice, and lightning into a singular, cataclysmic attack. The Elemental Annihilation Fusion manifested as a swirling vortex of annihilation, wreathed in celestial flames, frigid ice, and crackling lightning. The sheer force of the fusion overwhelmed the battlefield, causing ripples in the very fabric of reality. The Dragon Prince, facing this unprecedented assault, invoked the Draconic Aegis, a defensive barrier woven from draconic energy, to withstand the impending cataclysm. As the Elemental Annihilation Fusion clashed with the Draconic Aegis, the battlefield bore witness to a spectacle of unimaginable destruction. Celestial flames clashed with draconic energies, while icy tendrils lashed out alongside bolts of celestial lightning. The Dragon Prince, feeling the strain of the onslaught, roared defiantly, determined to hold his ground. In response, the Dragon Prince initiated the Draconic Ascendant Drive, a variant of his Dragon Drive technique that surged his draconic power to unparalleled heights. The very air crackled with draconic energy as the Dragon Prince's aura expanded exponentially, eclipsing the battlefield. The Draconic Ascendant Drive, amplifying his draconic bloodline to tenfold strength, marked a turning point in the battle. Jiang Chen, witnessing the surge in the Dragon Prince's power, knew he had to push his own limits. Drawing upon the essence of the Vermilion Bird, he unleashed the Inferno Phoenix Incarnation, a manifestation of pure flame and celestial energy that mirrored the legendary Phoenix. The Inferno Phoenix soared above the battlefield, leaving trails of celestial flames in its wake. The Dragon Prince, now fully immersed in the Draconic Ascendant Drive, met the Inferno Phoenix head-on. The clash of celestial flames and draconic energies illuminated the battleground, creating a dazzling display visible for miles. The spectators, utilizing the peculiar artifacts from the everlasting mystical empire, watched in awe as the two titans clashed in a spectacle that transcended the realms of mortal comprehension. As the Draconic Ascendant Drive reached its zenith, the Dragon Prince invoked the Draconic Oblivion Roar, a roar that resonated with the very fabric of reality. The shockwaves rippled through space, distorting the battlefield and disorienting Jiang Chen. Sensing the impending danger, Jiang Chen merged the Frost Giant's ice essence with the Celestial Frost Blink, a spatial movement technique that allowed him to evade the effects of the draconic roar. The battle had evolved into a symphony of destruction, with each combatant unleashing their most potent techniques. Jiang Chen, undeterred by the Dragon Prince's overwhelming power, fused the thunderous Voidstorm Surge, a combination of celestial lightning and the Annihilation Force. The celestial lightning surged through the elemental Annihilation fusion, enhancing its destructive potential. The Dragon Prince, locked in the throes of the Draconic Ascendant Drive, retaliated with the Draconic Tempest Annihilation, a spiraling vortex of draconic energy infused with the power of the Draconic Sovereignty. The clash between the thunderous Voidstorm Surge and Draconic Tempest Annihilation created shockwaves that resonated through the very essence of the central region. The battle showed no signs of waning as both combatants continued to push the boundaries of their abilities. The clash between Jiang Chen and the Dragon Prince reached a crescendo, with both warriors now building up their ultimate attacks. The atmosphere crackled with energy as celestial flames, draconic energies, and annihilation forces intertwined in a chaotic dance. Jiang Chen, harnessing the power of the elemental annihilation fusion, felt the surge of the laws of annihilation coursing through him. The fusion of fire, ice, and lightning energies created a maelstrom of celestial elements converging upon his outstretched palms. The air hummed with intensity as Jiang Chen prepared to unleash the Celestial Annihilation Cataclysm, a technique that would harness the essence of the laws to create a cataclysmic burst. The Dragon Prince, undeterred by the impending onslaught, continued to channel the Draconic Ascendant Drive to its apex. His draconic aura reached unprecedented levels, the very fabric of reality warping under its influence. The draconic sovereignty enveloped him, amplifying his control over the draconic forces as he prepared for the Draconic Astral Cataclysm, an attack that would unleash the raw power of the draconic sovereignty upon the battlefield. The two combatants faced each other, the tension palpable as their respective ultimate attacks neared completion. The battlefield became a canvas of primordial forces, swirling with energies that defied the laws of nature. Spectators, both from Jiang Chen's forces and the onlookers through the everlasting mystical empire's unique artifacts, watched with bated breath as the titans prepared to unleash their cataclysmic might. Jiang Chen's eyes glowed with a resolute determination as he channeled the annihilation forces into his palms. Flames danced with the essence of the Vermilion Bird, lightning crackled with celestial energy, and ice pulsed with the Frost Giant's essence. The fusion of these elements coalesced into a celestial sphere, swirling with volatile energies. The Celestial Annihilation Cataclysm was a testament to Jiang Chen's mastery over the laws and his unyielding resolve. The Dragon Prince, equally focused, radiated draconic majesty as the Draconic Astral Cataclysm neared completion. His draconic aura pulsed with unparalleled dominance, the celestial energies aligning with the draconic sovereignty. The battlefield became a canvas for the impending cataclysm, the very ground quivering in anticipation of the unleashed power. As the two warriors stood on the precipice of their ultimate attacks, a charged silence enveloped the battlefield. Even the winds seemed to hold their breath, awaiting the cataclysmic clash that would determine the fate of the central region. The moment lingered, suspended in time, as the Titans prepared to unleash their wrath upon each other. Jiang Chen, with a determined gaze, raised his palms towards the heavens, the celestial annihilation cataclysm pulsating with incalculable power. The Dragon Prince, his draconic eyes gleaming with an unwavering resolve, focused his energies for the imminent release of the draconic astral cataclysm. The countdown to destruction commenced as the two ultimate attacks reached their zenith. Then, in a simultaneous eruption of power, the celestial annihilation cataclysm and draconic astral cataclysm collided, creating a cataclysmic shockwave that swept across the battlefield. The celestial flames clashed with draconic energies, annihilation forces resonated with the draconic sovereignty, and the very fabric of reality quivered under the immense power unleashed by the two titans. The shockwave expanded in all directions, carrying with it the destructive forces of the clash. The ground trembled, and the skies distorted as the celestial annihilation cataclysm and draconic astral cataclysm waged a cosmic battle. The battlefield transformed into a chaotic realm of elemental forces, each vying for dominance in a spectacle that transcended the boundaries of mortal comprehension. The aftermath of the cataclysmic clash left the battlefield in disarray. As the dust settled, both the Dragon Prince and Jiang Chen emerged from the remnants of the explosion. The Dragon Prince, surrounded by his potent draconic aura, remained largely unscathed, a testament to the resilience granted by his formidable powers. In contrast, Jiang Chen appeared battered and wounded, the toll of the clash evident on his form. The realization of Dragon Prince's unscathed state prompted a silent acknowledgement from Jiang Chen. Dragon Prince's power surpassed even his expectations, and the acknowledgement of this fact fueled Jiang Chen's determination rather than dampening it. He knew that the road ahead was treacherous, but surrender was never an option for him. In a decisive moment, Jiang Chen decided to bring forth his trump card. With a focused intent, he summoned his minor world, a powerful immortal dominion known as the Diabolical Abyssal Realm. This unique domain possessed devil attributes and an amalgamation of powers derived from Jiang Chen's vast array of abilities. The Diabolical Abyssal Realm would not only enhance Jiang Chen's powers but also restrict the access of the Dragon Prince to his elemental laws, forcing him to rely solely on his draconic abilities. Upon witnessing the manifestation of the Diabolical Abyssal Realm, a feral grin appeared on the Dragon Prince's face. Rather than despair, he felt a surge of excitement. The perilous nature of this battle appealed to the primal instincts of a dragon, and the Dragon Prince relished the challenge. The second round of their confrontation began, and the effects of the minor world became evident. The vermilion flames, infused with the essence of the vermilion bird, danced around Jiang Chen's body. Simultaneously, the azure lightning of the 9 heavenly lightning sword crackled, mending Jiang Chen's injuries and restoring him to full strength. The rejuvenation was swift, a testament to the formidable recuperative abilities bestowed upon Jiang Chen by his diverse arsenal of powers. Across the battlefield, the Dragon Prince, undeterred by the shifting dynamics, unleashed his final trump card. The second level of his dragon drive surged forth, amplifying his power by 50 times. The aura of draconic might emanating from the Dragon Prince reached unprecedented levels, the very air quivering under the intensity of his presence. The stage was set for the second round, and the battleground crackled with anticipation. Jiang Chen, now revitalized within the Diabolical Abyssal Realm, faced the Dragon Prince, who, with his enhanced dragon drive, exuded an aura of overwhelming dominance. The clash within the Diabolical Abyssal Realm intensified, the two titans locked in a fierce battle that reverberated through the minor world. Jiangchen, bolstered by the amplification of his abilities within the realm, fused the essence of the vermilion bird's flame, the chilling ice essence of the frost giant, the destructive force of the law of annihilation, the malevolent energy of the heavenly Azura devil clan's bloodline, and the underlying draconic power from his devil draconic bloodline. The Dragon Prince, restricted from unleashing elemental attacks, compensated with purely draconic techniques that exuded dominance and raw power. The battlefield became a canvas for their dueling techniques, each clash a spectacle of destructive forces. Jiangchen, showcasing his mastery over his abilities, initiated the Inferno Blizzard Surge, a combination of the Vermilion Bird's flames and the Frost Giant's icy prowess. The air crackled with intense heat and freezing cold as the conflicting elements surged towards the Dragon Prince. In retaliation, the Dragon Prince unleashed the Draconic Tempest Roar, a roar so powerful that it created shockwaves, shaking the very foundation of the diabolical abyssal realm. The Draconic force tore through Jiangchen's amalgamated technique, leaving behind a trail of destruction. T/his chapter is up.d by nvel, bin.co/m. Refusing to yield, Jiangchen invoked the heavenly Azura's wrath, a manifestation of the demonic energy within his bloodline. The battlefield was bathed in an eerie red glow as malevolent tendrils lashed out towards the Dragon Prince. The draconic resilience absorbed some of the onslaught, but the relentless assault persisted. The Dragon Prince retaliated with the Draconic Pinnacle Tail Sweep, a swift and powerful tail sweep that disrupted Jiangchen's concentration. The impact reverberated through the minor world, causing a momentary distortion in the realm. Jiangchen, undeterred, rallied his abilities once more. The Crimson Thunderclap Inferno, a culmination of the 9 heavenly lightning swords Azure Lightning and the Vermilion Bird's Flame, merged into a devastating storm that engulfed the Dragon Prince. The Azure Flames danced alongside the electric currents, creating a chaotic display of destructive power. In response, the Dragon Prince invoked the Draconic Dominion Surge, an overwhelming surge of draconic energy that nullified the Crimson Thunderclap Inferno. The realm shook as the two opposing forces clashed, creating an explosive spectacle within the confines of the diabolical abyssal realm. As the battle reached its zenith, the Dragon Prince, unable to access elemental attacks, relied on his sheer draconic might. The roar of the sovereign dragon, a reverberating roar that resonated with the authority of a true draconic sovereign. The sound waves distorted the fabric of the realm, challenging even the resilience of Jiangchen's minor world. Despite the overwhelming assault, Jiangchen's minor world activated its automatic healing mechanism. The vermilion flames and azure lightning, like benevolent guardians, enveloped Jiangchen's body, mending his injuries and revitalizing his strength. The Dragon Prince, relentless in his onslaught, continued to push Jiangchen to the brink of death. The battle danced on the precipice of annihilation, each clash a testament to the indomitable will of the combatants. As the relentless clash between Jiangchen and the Dragon Prince persisted within the diabolical abyssal realm, the atmosphere crackled with the residual energies of their potent techniques. The ground beneath them bore the scars of their intense duel, each strike leaving an indelible mark on the landscape. Jiangchen, bolstered by the rejuvenating power of his minor world, decided to escalate the battle. Channeling the might of his newly acquired 9 heavenly lightning sword, he initiated the Lightning Inferno Annihilation, a fusion of the Azure Lightning essence and the annihilating force of his Law of Annihilation. The combination unleashed a torrent of destructive energy that engulfed the Dragon Prince. The Dragon Prince, recognizing the imminent threat, countered with the Draconic Storm Surge, summoning a tempest of draconic energy that attempted to disperse the Lightning Inferno Annihilation. The clash created a dazzling display of intertwining energies, lighting up the diabolical abyssal realm with bursts of azure and draconic brilliance. Undeterred, Jiangchen tapped into the Frost Giant's ice essence, incorporating it into his next technique. The Frozen Inferno Blizzard, an amalgamation of freezing cold and scorching heat, manifested as a swirling storm of icy flames. The Dragon Prince, now surrounded by the elemental onslaught, faced the dual challenge of extreme temperatures. In response, the Dragon Prince unfurled his wings, invoking the Draconic Tempest Wing Beat. The powerful wing beats generated cyclones of draconic energy, attempting to disperse the frozen inferno blizzard. The clash resulted in a celestial dance of fire and ice, each element vying for supremacy. The battle had escalated to a point where even the laws of the diabolical abyssal realm seemed to be influenced by the titanic forces at play. Spatial distortions and ethereal echoes accompanied every strike, adding an otherworldly dimension to the clash. Jiang Qin, recognizing the need to exploit every facet of his power, infused the flame essence of the vermilion bird into his next move. The Crimson Phoenix Ascension, a manifestation of the vermilion bird's fiery rebirth, soared towards the Dragon Prince. The ethereal phoenix, wreathed in crimson flames, radiated both destruction and renewal. The Dragon Prince, undeterred, activated the draconic roar of annihilation, a roar that transcended the mortal realm, resonating with the laws of annihilation. The sonic shockwaves attempted to nullify the Crimson Phoenix Ascension, creating a cacophony of clashing energies. As the battle reached its zenith, Jiang Qin, driven by a surge of determination, unleashed the Celestial Annihilation Fusion, a culmination of all his powers. The essence of the Frost Giant, the draconic bloodline energy, the vermilion bird's flame essence, the azure lightning of the 9 heavenly lightning sword, and the annihilating force of the law of annihilation merged into a cataclysmic force. The Dragon Prince, recognizing the gravity of the situation, initiated the draconic sovereign's wrath. A draconic aura, intensified by the sheer force of the Dragon Prince's resolve, enveloped him, forming a protective barrier against the Celestial Annihilation Fusion. The clash between the two forces created an explosion that shook the very fabric of the minor world. Arcane energies intertwined in a cosmic ballet, casting ephemeral hues across the battlefield. Jiang Chen's Celestial Annihilation Fusion and the Dragon Prince's Draconic Sovereign's Wrath reached a stalemate, each force resisting the other. However, the battle was far from over. The Dragon Prince, harnessing the newfound energy, initiated the Draconic Dominion Overdrive, pushing the boundaries of his draconic power even further. The surge in energy broke the deadlock, allowing the Dragon Prince to exert dominance over Jiang Chen's amalgamated technique. Jiang Chen's minor world triggered its protective mechanisms. The vermilion flames and azure lightning enveloped him once again, healing the wounds inflicted by the relentless assault. The feral grin on the Dragon Prince's face only widened as he observed the regenerative capabilities of Jiang Chen's minor world. His draconic eyes gleamed with a predatory glint as he taunted Jiang Chen. "Well, Jiang Chen, how long can you keep this up?" The Dragon Prince's voice dripped with condescension. "You must have realized the gap between us. I can kill you over and over until you're finally dead. Tens of times, hundreds of times, or even thousands of times, it doesn't matter. You can't escape the inevitable." Jiang Chen scowled, unable to refute the Dragon Prince's words. The truth was, the regeneration of the minor world did indeed have its limitations. To sustain the continuous healing, Jiang Chen had embedded traces of his devil energy within countless living beings across the world. Their life force fueled the minor world's regeneration ability, but even this method had its constraints. As the Dragon Prince's words lingered in the air, a realization dawned on Jiang Chen. If the Dragon Prince persisted in his relentless onslaught, the regenerative capacity of the minor world would eventually be depleted, leading to Jiang Chen's demise. However, the Dragon Prince wasn't finished as he added, "Can you heal without the support of this minor world? Let's find that out." The source of this content N/O/V/L/N. This ominous statement hung in the air as a foreboding sign of what was to come. Without wasting any time, the Dragon Prince initiated his most formidable attack, the Draconic Nova Burst. Energy surged within him, and azure light emanated from every scale on his body. The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble in anticipation of the draconic cataclysm about to unfold. In response to the impending threat, Jiang Chen summoned the entirety of his power. The vermilion flames, the azure lightning, the ice essence, the devil draconic bloodline, and the law of annihilation converged into a colossal force. The culmination of his abilities manifested as the celestial annihilation fusion, a technique he hoped would counter the impending draconic nova burst. As the two titanic forces collided, the resulting explosion was cataclysmic. The draconic nova burst, an overwhelming surge of draconic power, tore through the fabric of space and distorted the laws of time. On the opposing side, the celestial annihilation fusion fought valiantly, attempting to withstand the draconic onslaught. The minor world, now under the duress of the draconic nova burst, began to crumble. Space itself seemed to shatter as the energies clashed, creating a maelstrom of destruction. The laws of time and space wavered, unable to withstand the sheer power unleashed by the Dragon Prince. Jiang Qin, caught in the midst of the cataclysm, could feel the force of the draconic nova burst overpowering his defenses. The impact reverberated through every fiber of his being, and he found himself at the mercy of the devastating attack. In that chaotic moment, the remnants of the minor world shattered into ethereal fragments. As the remnants of the shattered minor world dissipated, Jiang Qin and the Dragon Prince found themselves back on the barren land. The Dragon Prince stood proudly, his eyes reflecting triumph and satisfaction, while Jiang Qin, battered and bloodied, knelt on the ground. He coughed out mouthfuls of blood, revealing the severity of his injuries. His left leg and right arm were missing, and numerous wounds marred his abdomen. Though these injuries would be fatal to humans, for a resilient demon like Jiang Qin, they wouldn't be life-threatening. However, the destruction of his minor world had inflicted a unique agony directly on Jiang Qin's spirit. It felt as if a part of his soul had been torn apart by the Dragon Prince's relentless assault. Amidst the wreckage of his strength, Jiang Qin's once formidable spirit now quivered with vulnerability. The pain, both physical and spiritual, painted a grim tableau of defeat. However, this wasn't the end. The Dragon Prince, relishing his apparent victory, wore a feral grin as he confidently stepped forward, preparing to deliver the final blow to Jiang Qin. However, just before the lethal strike, a peculiar realization crossed his draconic features. Jiang Qin's spirit suddenly lost all its strength. A moment of disbelief flashed across the Dragon Prince's eyes. Jiang Qin had escaped. In a clever maneuver, Jiang Qin had transferred his consciousness to one of the bodies containing a fragment of his devil energy. Evading the fate of being killed by the Dragon Prince, Jiang Qin had cunningly slipped away. The Dragon Prince, unfazed by this anticlimactic turn of events, uttered a confident vow, "I will kill you, sooner or later." Yet, as he spoke those words, the Dragon Prince's attention shifted abruptly. A colossal flying ship, emblematic of the Heavenly Court, soared towards them. The ship carried the elite Immortal Realm experts of the Heavenly Court, and they had come to confront the fatigued Dragon Prince. A spark of irritation crossed the Dragon Prince's draconic features as he faced this unexpected intervention. Nonetheless, his eyes gleamed with confidence, ready to face yet another formidable challenge from the forces aligned against him. The battle was far from over, and the celestial stage remained fraught with tension and impending conflict. In a secluded part of the enchanting forest of the elves, amidst the ancient trees and ethereal surroundings, Wang Jian's eyes snapped open. The aura surrounding him had transformed, resonating with the profound energy of the immortal realm. His ascension to this elevated stage of cultivation marked a significant milestone, but there was more to this revelation than the attainment of power. As Wang Jian delved into the newfound depths of the immortal realm, a profound realization dawned upon him. He had unraveled the truth concealed behind the mysterious system that had guided him throughout his journey in this mystical realm. The system, it appeared, was a fragment of the world heart, the pulsating essence that governed the fundamental laws of this reality. This fragment of the world heart had seamlessly fused with Wang Jian's soul, a symbiotic relationship that gradually strengthened his body and spirit. The purpose of the system became clearer. It served as a conduit, a means to harness and control the immense powers emanating from this fragment of the world heart. The guise of a system provided a convenient restraint for the formidable energies, unlocking them gradually as Wang Jian acquired and seized the world's essence from other individuals. The intricate design of the system, presented as a series of challenges and quests, was a mechanism through which Wang Jian could absorb the world's essence, fortifying his body and spirit. The subtle manipulations, such as seducing women linked to these powerful individuals, were orchestrated by the system based on the latent desires residing in Wang Jian's consciousness. However, with his attainment of the immortal realm cultivation stage, Wang Jian had reached a point where he could now directly control the powers of the world heart. The need for the system as an intermediary had diminished. As the realization settled within him, Wang Jian could sense the vast reservoirs of energy at his disposal, ready to be harnessed and wielded without the constraints of the system. With newfound clarity and command over the powers of the world heart, Wang Jian stood on the precipice of a realm beyond mortal comprehension, ready to unfold the potential within him. Wang Jian emerged from his secluded cultivation space with a wide smile adorning his face. The newfound control over the powers of the world heart brought a sense of elation that reflected in the gleam of his eyes. With purposeful strides, he decided to seek out Elf Queen Alindra and, later, meet his wives to share the joy of his immortal realm ascension. As Wang Jian stepped out of the building that housed his closed-door cultivation, he became attuned to the energies resonating within the enchanting forest of the elves. However, the joy in his expression faded into a frown as a disconcerting realization settled within him. In that moment, Wang Jian sensed the weakened state of many elves in the enchanting forest, including Elf Queen Alindra and the 5 elf princesses. The fragility of their spirits became apparent to him, and he swiftly connected the dots. Jiang Chen and his forces had attacked the elven forest. Face-palming at the situation, Wang Jian muttered to himself about his earlier concerns. He had foreseen the potential danger and had advised Elf Queen Alindra to hand over the artifacts to Jiang Chen. However, despite his warnings, the damage seemed to be done. Although worried, Wang Jian quickly reassured himself. If any of his loved ones were in immediate peril, his implanted spirit fragments would have alerted him. Nonetheless, he felt the urgency to rush to the aid of the elves and protect his cherished ones. Teleporting in an instant, Wang Jian materialized beside Elf Queen Alindra. The Elf Queen, weakened but conscious, lay on a bed surrounded by rare woods and restorative herbs. Despite the efforts, her condition had not improved significantly. She understood that her overuse of the World Tree's energy had taken a toll on her fragile body. Elf Queen Alindra's eyes widened in surprise as Wang Jian appeared in her chamber. His teleportation was so seamless that it left no spatial turbulence, a testament to his mastery over the laws of space. Wang Jian's gaze, once filled with concern, shifted into a smile as he beheld the form of the Elf Queen, who even in her weakened state exuded an ethereal allure. Wang Jian's gaze lingered on Elf Queen Alindra, who lay in a weakened state, with a depraved grin on his face. His words, though crude, carried a strange mixture of desire and authority. "You truly are an exquisite beauty. Every time I look at your body, I feel like violating you." Despite the crassness of his words, there was an undeniable sense of satisfaction in Elf Queen Alindra's eyes. She responded, "I am truly honored that my body could be of use to my lord." Seemingly pleased by her acknowledgement, Wang Jian stepped forward, gently patting her head. He spoke with a hint of reassurance, "I will correct everything now." Wang Jian then tapped into the newfound power of vitality within him, an ability unlocked after breaking free from the constraints of the World Heart's fragment. The understanding dawned upon him that the healing facilitated by destiny points was a manifestation of the inherent abilities of the World Heart. Now, with the power of Empyrean energy, he set out to perform a miraculous healing throughout the enchanting forest of the elves. The surge of Empyrean energy emanated from Wang Jian, weaving through the trees, the air, and the very essence of the enchanting forest. A wave of vitality spread across the entire region, reaching every corner. Curses were dispelled, injuries healed, and the once weakened spirits of the elves were revitalized. Even the 5 elf princesses, including the eldest, Selena, were completely cured. As Wang Jian concluded the restoration of health within the enchanting forest, the radiant light of vitality around him gradually faded. In that moment, Elf Queen Alindra rose from her bed and embraced Wang Jian tightly. The wicked grin on Wang Jian's face persisted as he relished the voluptuous feel of her body against his own. Whispering reassurance into Alindra's ear, Wang Jian declared, "Everything will be all right now. I will make sure Jiang Chen's faction and all those who attacked us pay for their actions." The promise hung in the air, carrying a sense of determination and impending retribution. "I believe you, my lord," Alindra whispered while hugging him. The two continued to remain in that embrace for a couple of minutes. As the seriousness of the situation slowly faded, Wang Jian uttered with a depraved grin, "Now, it's time for you to fulfill your duty as my mistress." "Yes, my lord. I have been waiting for it," Alindra spoke a bit too excitedly and seductively. Wang Jian's eyes gleamed with lust as he watched Alindra's excitement grow. He grabbed her by the waist and pulled her towards him, his rough hands tearing at her delicate silk robe. The fabric tore easily under his powerful grip, revealing her voluptuous body to his hungry gaze. Alindra gasped as Wang Jian's hands roamed over her bare skin, squeezing her plump breasts and pinching her hard nipples. She arched her back, pressing herself against him, eager for his touch. Wang Jian's hands trailed down her stomach, stopping at the hem of her undergarment. With a swift motion, he tore it off, revealing her soft, smooth mound. He groaned at the sight of her, his cock already throbbing with need. Without further ado, Wang Jian pushed Alindra onto the bed and climbed on top of her. He positioned himself between her legs and thrust into her, claiming her wetness for himself. Alindra cried out in pleasure as Wang Jian's massive girth filled her completely. He began to pound into her, his rough hands gripping her hips tightly. He savored the feeling of her body beneath him, the softness of her skin contrasting sharply with his roughness. As he continued to thrust into her, Wang Jian reached down and squeezed one of Alindra's large breasts, pinching her nipple between his fingers. She moaned loudly, arching her back even more to grant him better access. During their passionate lovemaking, Wang Jian took full advantage of Alindra's body. He kissed and nibbled on her neck, leaving hickeys that would last for days. He thrust into her harder and faster, driving them both to the brink of orgasm. Finally, with a powerful cry, Wang Jian released his seed deep within Alindra, filling her womb with his seed. Alindra followed soon after, her body shaking with the force of her own orgasm. After their first intense round of lovemaking, Wang Jian and Alindra didn't waste any time in getting back to it. They were both too consumed by lust and desire to rest for long. Wang Jian flipped Alindra onto her stomach, spreading her legs wide. He pressed his hard cock against her wet entrance, teasing her before finally plunging into her once again. He grabbed her hips firmly, holding her in place as he pounded into her from behind. Alindra let out muffled cries of pleasure as Wang Jian's rough hands roamed over her body, pinching her nipples and slapping her ass cheeks. She arched her back, pushing herself back onto him, urging him to go deeper. Wang Jian picked up the pace, his thrusts becoming faster and harder. He reached around to grasp one of Alindra's heavy breasts, squeezing it tightly and rolling her nipple between his fingers. Alindra moaned loudly, her body shaking with each powerful stroke. As the night wore on, Wang Jian moved from position to position, exploring every inch of Alindra's voluptuous body. He took her from behind, on her side, even on top of her. He was relentless in his pursuit of pleasure, determined to make her feel every inch of him. Alindra matched his fervor, meeting each of his thrusts with equal passion. She wrapped her legs around him, urging him to go deeper still. She bit down on her lip, trying to stifle her cries of pleasure as he drove her to the brink of orgasm time and time again. Their passionate lovemaking continued well into the early hours of the morning. They climaxed 20 times or more, each time more intense than the last. Wang Jian took full advantage of Alindra's body, leaving hickeys and bruises that would remain for days. Finally, they collapsed onto the bed, their bodies entwined in a tangle of sweat-soaked sheets. It was a night neither of them would soon forget. One filled with passion, lust, and raw physical pleasure. And as Wang Jian fell asleep, he knew that Alindra would be there to satisfy his desires for many nights to come. After unknown hours, the two of them finally woke up. They were still naked. When Alindra woke up, she suddenly realized something as her eyes widened in shock as she spoke. "Oh no! We have wasted too much time. We were having so much fun that I forgot that a really critical situation is occurring in the world." In response to those words, Wang Jian merely smiled as he spoke, "Don't worry too much." However, Alindra's eyes widened in shock as she exclaimed, "The situation is really critical. The ancient devil Jiangchen is fighting a duel against the Dragon Prince. The battle has been going on for 2 days now with no victor decided yet. Need to assess the situation and strike while they're still tired." Wang Jian, caressing her cheek, maintained his smile. "I said don't worry. Actually, not much time has passed." Confused, Alindra furrowed her brow. What do you mean, my lord?" "A whole day has passed. It the evening of the next day." Wang Jian stated, "This is only true for the northern region of the continent. For the rest of the continent, only an hour has passed." T from N0/V/LB/co/M. Noticing the confused look in Alindra's eyes, Wang Jian explained, "I have accelerated the flow of time in the northern region of the continent so that we have enough time for preparation." "What? Manipulated time? You have such an ability, my lord?" Alindra couldn't help but speak out with a bewildered look. In response, Wang Jian spoke with a smirk, "This is just a mere hint of what I can do. Let's start with the preparations. You can tell me all that has transpired while I was in the closed-door cultivation." "Yes, my lord," Alindra responded with a look of pure awe and devotion in her eyes. The chamber, once a sanctuary of passion, now transformed into a space of deliberation. Alindra recounted the occurrences with vivid detail. "With your insight," she began, "the angel race agreed to our alliance, relocating their angelic sky city high above the northern region." She conveyed the complexity of alliances, the celestial city poised as a silent guardian. Jiangchen arrived as predicted, she continued, seeking the return of his artifacts. Surprisingly, the heavenly court stood by his side. Wang Jian, reflecting on this revelation, remarked, "The heavenly court's involvement is unexpected, but it aligns with their objective to have Jiangchen confront the Dragon Prince." Alindra delved into the subsequent assault, revealing, shortly after Jiangchen's faction and the heavenly court's joint attack, Wang Hao's forces, bolstered by the sea monster race, targeted our everlasting mystical empire. Wang Jian, taken aback, admitted, "I did not anticipate this move." Empress Su Xian issued a decisive order, Alindra continued, directing high-ranking officials and warriors to teleport to the Verzen Empire. Wang Jian, appreciative of Su Xian's foresight, concurred, "A wise decision. Since we have no immortal realm expert, we wouldn't have been able to defend ourselves against the might of Wang Hao's faction, and my everlasting mystical empire would have suffered immeasurable losses." Su Xian prevented unnecessary casualties. Transitioning to the latest development, Alindra disclosed, Jiangchen, having reached the pinnacle of his power, led a formidable force to the celestial nexus immortal dominion, wrested from the draconic clan and ancient beast race. There, he challenged the Dragon Prince to a one-on-one duel. The battle is still ongoing. Wang Jian, absorbing the information, contemplated a direct confrontation between Jiangchen and the Dragon Prince. A pivotal moment indeed. Alindra nodded, "Yes, my lord. The outcome of this duel may shape the course of events across the entire world." The following item on Wang Jian's agenda was a rendezvous with his wives in the Verzen Empire. As he met each of them, a joyous reunion unfolded. Empress Su Xian, with a mix of relief and sorrow, embraced her husband tightly. "I'm sorry, husband," she murmured somberly. "I couldn't find a way to shield the everlasting mystical empire from Wang Hao's forces. Whatever course I considered seemed to lead to the massacre of our forces." Wang Jian, with a gentle touch on her back, comforted her. "Your decision was sound, my dear. Hold your head high, there's no need for remorse." After consoling Su Xian, Wang Jian turned to his second queen, Fen Shuiying. Their embrace lingered, the silent communication between them profound. It was a moment of shared understanding. Next in line was the third queen, Qin Yan, receiving Wang Jian's affectionate greeting. Their interaction held a familiarity that spoke of the bond forged through time. Following her was the fourth queen, Hong Meilin. Wang Jian's attention was unwavering, expressing love and reassurance in the silent language only they shared. Stella, the butterfly spirit queen and the fifth queen, received her turn. Wang Jian's warmth extended, acknowledging her unique role in his life. Jin Meixiang, the sixth queen, followed suit. Each queen received a distinct share of Wang Jian's attention, making the moment personal and genuine. Having met with his queens, Wang Jian gracefully shifted his focus to his concubines. Each interaction was a celebration of the diverse connections he shared, creating an atmosphere of love and unity. The encounters were marked by genuine smiles, shared laughter, and an underlying sense of camaraderie. As the reunion with his wives unfolded, Wang Jian found himself in the comfort of his personal chamber within the Verzen Empire. All his queens were present, creating an intimate setting that radiated warmth and affection. The air was filled with a sense of familiarity and love. The queens, with an air of indulgence, pampered Wang Jian. They playfully insisted he lay his head in their laps, creating a circle around him. The atmosphere was both soothing and alluring. Empress Su Xian, with a tender smile, beckoned Wang Jian to rest his head on her lap. Her gentle hands began to massage his head, fingers expertly working through his hair. "You've been through so much, my love," she said, her voice a soothing melody. "Let us take care of you now." Fen Shuiying, with a mischievous glint in her eyes, took charge of Wang Jian's left arm. Her skilled fingers traced soothing patterns along his skin, releasing any tension that lingered. "You need to relax, husband," she teased, her touch combining playfulness and care. Qin Yan, positioned on the other side, focused on Wang Jian's right arm. Her touch was delicate yet firm, each motion calculated to ease any strain. "You're our emperor, but today, you're also ours to spoil," she remarked with a playful grin. The attention then shifted to his legs. Hong Meilin, with her characteristic grace, massaged Wang Jian's left leg. Her touch seemed to erase fatigue, leaving behind a sensation of revitalization. "You've handled so much for us," she whispered, her words a sweet acknowledgement. Stella, with her ethereal presence, took charge of Wang Jian's right leg. Her fingers moved with a rhythmic flow, creating a sensation akin to a gentle breeze. "Let the worries of the world melt away," she murmured, her voice a comforting melody. Jin Meixiang, positioned at his feet, worked her magic with a focus on his soles. Her touch was both tender and invigorating, completing the immersive experience. "You deserve every moment of bliss, my lord," she expressed with genuine affection. In this state of relaxation, Wang Jian casually inquired about the situation on the battlefield. His wives, amidst the comforting atmosphere, began to share the latest updates. "The battle between the Dragon Prince and Jiangchen concluded a day ago," Empress Su Xian informed, her fingers continuing the rhythmic motion on Wang Jian's head. "Yeah," Fen Shuiying added, her eyes focused on her husband. "Jiangchen seems to have disappeared after the battle." The Dragon Prince is now facing off against the Heavenly Court forces. Qin Yan, still massaging Wang Jian's right arm, nodded in agreement. The Heavenly Court is giving him quite a tough fight, but the Dragon Prince is holding his ground. As the information unfolded, Wang Jian absorbed the details, contemplating the turn of events. The ambience in the chamber remained relaxed, a stark contrast to the turmoil unfolding on the battlefield. Wang Jian, basking in the afterglow of the massage, couldn't help but appreciate the unique bond he shared with each of his queens. The intimacy and understanding that flowed between them created a harmonious atmosphere, even in the face of external challenges. Jiang Chen's disappearance is intriguing, Wang Jian mused, his eyes reflecting a mixture of contemplation and curiosity. We should keep a close watch on the developments. It seems the situation is far from resolved. All test NOVL on novelben/.cm. The wives, still focused on their ministrations, nodded in agreement. Amidst the soothing massage and the calming atmosphere of the personal chamber, Wang Jian's curiosity shifted toward the state of the angel race and the condition of the angelic sky city. His wives, still attending to him, shared the updates with a blend of details and casual dialogues. Wang Jian, with a lighthearted tone, directed his question to his queens: how are our angelic allies faring after the recent clashes? Any updates on the angelic sky city? Su Xian, still running her fingers through Wang Jian's hair, responded: the angel race and the angelic sky city have faced significant challenges. Archangel Seraphim had to harness the power of the angelic sky city to counter Jiang Chen's faction and the Heavenly Court. However, it seems the strain was too much for their bodies. Fen Shuiying, who was focused on massaging his left arm, chimed in: many angels, including the archangels, are experiencing adverse effects from borrowing such potent power. Their recovery might take some time. Qin Yan, continuing to need Wang Jian's right arm, added: the battle took a toll on their forces, but they managed to repel Jiang Chen and the Heavenly Court. The angelic sky city is still intact, but the aftermath is visible. Wang Jian listened attentively, absorbing the details. The information painted a picture of sacrifice and strain among his celestial allies. As his wives shared the complexities of the situation, Wang Jian's expression morphed into a contemplative one. After a moment of silence, a mischievous grin spread across Wang Jian's face. Well, I guess it's time for me to pay a visit to our celestial friends. A personal touch might help speed up their recovery. The queens exchanged glances, recognizing the playful glint in Wang Jian's eyes. Su Xian couldn't resist a teasing remark: my lord, are you planning to heal them with your unique method of treatment? Wang Jian chuckled: well, let's just say I have a way of making people feel better. A personal touch, you know? The queens burst into laughter, their melodious tones filling the chamber. Amidst the banter, Wang Jian's decision was clear: he intended to visit the angelic sky city to check on their allies. Wang Jian, still cradled in the comforting embrace of his wives, spoke with a contented smile: well, I don't plan to rush off immediately. There's something important right here that requires my attention. His statement earned a collective chuckle from the queens who surrounded him. Su Xian, the empress, teased: is our lord planning to enjoy some more treatments before heading off to the angelic sky city? Wang Jian laughed: you know me well, Su Xian. Why rush when we can relish the moment? I want to make sure each of you feels thoroughly pampered and sated. Fen Shuiying, still massaging Wang Jian's left arm, chimed in: well, we wouldn't want you to go on a mission with a restless heart, my lord. It's crucial to find the right balance. Wang Jian winked at her: exactly, Fen Shuiying. A content heart makes for a more focused mind. And who knows, a well-tended lord might bring even more blessings to our allies. Qin Yan, continuing her gentle touch on his right arm, added: we wouldn't want you to be distracted during important negotiations with the angel race. A relaxed mind is a sharp mind. The banter continued, the atmosphere light and filled with the warmth of shared understanding. Wang Jian, reveling in the attention and affection, leaned back further into the soft cushions. Hong Meilin, massaging his left leg, quipped, "So, my lord, are we planning an all-night celebration or just a prelude to the main event?" Wang Jian, with a playful glint in his eyes, responded, "How about a bit of both? A night of revelry, followed by a morning of leisure. After all, balance is key, isn't it?" Stella, attending to his right leg, joined in, "Our lord is truly a master of balancing various interests. But we wouldn't have it any other way." Jean Meixiang, who had been massaging his feet, added with a mischievous smile, "My lord, your treatments are indeed the most effective remedy for stress and fatigue." As the queens continued their playful banter, Wang Jian embraced the moment, savoring the bond he shared with each of them. The personal chamber became a haven of laughter, affection, and shared joy. It was a respite from the chaos outside, a sanctuary where time seemed to slow down. Wang Jian's heartbeat quickened as the massage began to wind down. He knew that this was the moment he had been waiting for, the chance to shower his wives with the love and affection they deserved. Slowly, he raised himself up from the comfort of Empress Su Xian's lap. The Empress looked at him with a mixture of lust and anticipation, her full breasts rising and falling with her quickened breath. Wang Jian leaned in close, his lips brushing against hers in a passionate kiss. As he pulled away, he could feel the heat of her body against his own. Next, he turned his attention to second queen Fan Shuiying. She was a skilled lover, always eager to please her husband. Wang Jian grabbed her by the waist and pulled her close, his hardened member pressing against her soft stomach. He kissed her deeply, tasting the sweetness of her lips. Then, he roughly pushed her down onto the bed, entering her with one powerful thrust. The sound of their bodies colliding filled the room, muffled by the soft moans of pleasure emanating from both of them. Wang Jian pounded into her, his hands gripping her hips tightly as he took control of the situation. He knew that second queen Fan Shuiying loved it rough, and he was more than happy to oblige. After a few minutes of intense lovemaking, Wang Jian pulled out of second queen Fan Shuiying and moved on to third queen Chen. She was a delicate beauty, with long black hair that cascaded down her back. Wang Jian kissed her gently on the lips, his tongue teasing hers as he entered her from behind. He grabbed her by the waist and thrust his dick into her, feeling the tightness of her body around him. He continued to move in and out of her, his pace quickening as he grew closer to climax. Third Queen Chen moaned softly, her nails digging into his shoulders as she tried to maintain her balance. Fourth Queen Hong Meilin eagerly awaited her turn. She had been watching the others with a mix of jealousy and anticipation, her heart racing at the thought of feeling Wang Jian inside her. When he finally approached her, she didn't hesitate. She wrapped her legs around his waist and pulled him close, her full breasts pressing against his chest. Wang Jian kissed her passionately, his hands exploring her body as he entered her from behind. He gripped her hips tightly, using them to control the pace and depth of their lovemaking. Fourth Queen Hong Meilin moaned loudly, her body shuddering with pleasure as Wang Jian took her roughly from behind. She couldn't help but think how lucky she was to have such a dominant husband who knew exactly what she needed. After satisfying fourth Queen Hong Meilin, Wang Jian moved on to fifth Queen Stella, the butterfly spirit queen. She was a delicate beauty with wings that fluttered softly as she made love. Wang Jian kissed her gently on the lips, his tongue teasing hers as he entered her from behind. He held her close, his hands gently caressing her wings as he took her from behind. Fifth Queen Stella moaned softly, her body trembling with pleasure as Wang Jian's rough lovemaking sent waves of pleasure through her. Finally, Wang Jian turned his attention to sixth Queen Jean Meixiang. She was a petite beauty with long black hair that cascaded down her back. Wang Jian kissed her gently on the lips, his tongue teasing hers as he entered her from behind. He held her close, his hands gently caressing her body as he took her from behind. Sixth Queen Jean Meixiang moaned softly, her body trembling with pleasure as Wang Jian's rough lovemaking sent waves of pleasure through her. As the lovemaking continued, the room filled with the sounds of passion and pleasure. Wang Jian's wives moaned and cried out in ecstasy, their bodies trembling with the force of his rough lovemaking. He took each one of them with the same intensity, knowing that they all craved it and needed it. Wang Jian, after a night filled with intense passion, felt invigorated and ready to face the day. With a sly smile, he decided it was time to visit the angelic Sky City and ensure his allies were recovering well after the recent battles. The angelic Sky City, suspended high above the elven forest, shimmered with ethereal light. Wang Jian, however, didn't need to ascend through the skies like a common traveler. Instead, he harnessed the power of teleportation, effortlessly bypassing the barriers that sought to impede his entrance. As he materialized in the grand hall of the angelic Sky City, the archangels and angels present were caught off guard. The shock on their faces quickly transformed into delight as they recognized Wang Jian. Archangel Seraphim, her wings resplendent in radiant hues, was the first to recover. She greeted him with a warm smile, "Lord Wang Jian, it's a pleasant surprise to see you here. I assume your visit is not merely social." Wang Jian, with his signature smirk, replied, "Well, a bit of both, perhaps. I couldn't resist paying a visit to such esteemed allies, and of course, checking on the well-being of the beautiful inhabitants of the angelic Sky City." The archangels and angels, though initially startled, chuckled at Wang Jian's candid approach. Raphael, another archangel of extraordinary beauty, added, "Your sense of humor remains unmatched, Lord Wang Jian. But we're genuinely pleased to have you here. Also, it seems you've reached the immortal realm. Congratulations." Wang Jian, confirming their speculation, nodded and allowed his aura to flare, showcasing the newfound power that came with his recent ascension. The grand hall, bathed in celestial radiance, seemed to respond to his presence. Seraphim, always the pragmatic leader, inquired, "With your immortal realm cultivation, I assume you're here for more than just pleasantries. What brings you to the angelic Sky City?" Wang Jian, maintaining his confident demeanor, explained, "Well, I heard about the recent conflicts and wanted to ensure that all of you were recovering well. Besides, I thought we could discuss our next moves and strategies. After all, we're in this together." Seraphim, appreciating his concern, replied, "Your timing is impeccable. We've been strategizing about how to fortify our defenses and mend the damages caused by the recent battles. Your insights would be invaluable." As they delved into discussions about their alliance's future, Wang Jian couldn't help but enjoy the ethereal beauty surrounding him. The archangels, with their wings and graceful presence, added an otherworldly charm to the meeting. The angels, too, emanated an aura of celestial elegance. Wang Jian, with a glint of mischief in his eyes, couldn't resist a playful comment, "I must say, the angelic Sky City is a sight to behold, and its residents are even more captivating. It's almost a shame to discuss war and strategies in such a heavenly setting." The archangels, accustomed to Wang Jian's playful banter, shared knowing smiles. The grand hall of the angelic Sky City buzzed with murmurs as Wang Jian, Seraphim, and the other archangels engaged in discussions about their strategy against Jiangchen. The ethereal glow of the surroundings seemed to dim as they delved into the serious matter at hand. Seraphim, her wings radiating celestial light, addressed Wang Jian, "Lord Wang Jian, we've been contemplating a plan to hunt down Jiangchen. We believe he has switched bodies and is currently weakened. It's the perfect opportunity to strike." Wang Jian, leaning back with a relaxed demeanor, considered their proposition. Hunting Jiangchen is indeed a sound plan, considering the circumstances. However, remember that he's now at the immortal realm cultivation. It won't be an easy feat, especially for the angel race without an immortal realm expert. The archangels exchanged glances, acknowledging the difficulty of the task at hand. Raphael, with a thoughtful expression, ventured to ask, "Lord Wang Jian, could you assist us in this battle? Your formidable strength could be the key to holding Jiangchen back." Wang Jian, with a contemplative expression, replied, "I can certainly help in that regard. But I fear even with my assistance, there's a chance the angel race might struggle against Jiangchen's faction. He has likely granted immortal realm cultivation to his subordinates using the world hearts. You can't combat immortal realm experts without the support of the angelic sky city, which is not feasible at all times." A heavy silence filled the hall, the weight of the impending challenge sinking in. It was then that Wang Jian, his lips curling into a depraved smile, revealed a potential solution. "I do have a solution, but it will test the determination of the angel race," Wang Jian announced, capturing the attention of every archangel and angel in the room. Prompted by their curiosity, the archangels inquired about this mysterious solution. Wang Jian, with a wicked glint in his eyes, disclosed, "I can help you all reach the immortal realm cultivation stage and heal those suffering from the aftereffects of borrowing the angelic sky city's power. However, it requires a night of dual cultivation with me." The grand hall fell into a hushed silence, the proposition hanging in the air. The notion of dual cultivation was considered taboo among the angel race, and many looked at Wang Jian with a mix of curiosity and hesitation. Wang Jian, unfazed by their initial reactions, continued persuasively, "I understand the reservations, but breaking free from such constraints can elevate your power to new heights. Embrace this opportunity, and you'll find the strength to face the challenges that lie ahead." The archangels exchanged glances, weighing the potential benefits against the cultural taboo. To Wang Jian's surprise, some of the angels, including a few archangels, stepped forward, their expressions determined. "We are ready to accept your offer, Lord Wang Jian. We understand the importance of strength in these trying times," Seraphim declared, her tone resolute. Wang Jian, with his characteristic smirk, nodded in approval. "Very well, let's embark on a night that will change the course of fate." Wang Jian, observing the eagerness and determination in the eyes of the angels, acknowledged the urgency of their situation. He understood that time was of the essence, and traditional methods of dual cultivation would be time-consuming if he had to heal each angel individually. In a decisive moment, Wang Jian's eyes glinted with an idea. "If we proceed one by one, it will consume a significant amount of time we can't afford to waste. I have a more efficient solution," he declared. With a wave of his hand, the air around him seemed to ripple, and suddenly, the hall was filled with thousands of Wang Jian true clones. Each clone was an exact replica of him, and, astonishingly, Wang Jian managed them collectively with a single consciousness. The sheer mental and spiritual power required for such a feat was a testament to his formidable abilities. Wang Jian's true clones swiftly took charge, each clone accompanying 3 angels to designated chambers within the angelic sky city. The atmosphere shifted as the angels followed their clones, the anticipation of the unknown mingling with their determination. In a daring move, one of Wang Jian's true bodies joined the archangels, leading them to a grand chamber chosen for the night's events. Archangel Seraphim, Raphael, and the other archangels followed, their expressions a mix of curiosity and readiness. The grand chamber, adorned with celestial motifs and soft ambient light, became the backdrop for a night that defied the conventions of the angel race. The archangels, once revered for their purity and virtue, now found themselves immersed in a night of debauchery and dual cultivation. Wang Jian's presence was both commanding and enticing as he guided the archangels through the intricacies of dual cultivation. The room echoed with whispers of pleasure and exchanged energies, the air heavy with a potent mix of desire and celestial power. Seraphim, her luminous wings unfurled, experienced a side of herself she had never known. The sensations coursing through her body were intense, the duality of pleasure and spiritual cultivation pushing her beyond the boundaries of the angelic realm. Raphael, usually stoic and composed, found himself lost in the whirlwind of passion and power. The union of dual cultivation became a journey of self-discovery and exploration of limits he had never dared to approach. As the night unfolded, Wang Jian seamlessly moved between the archangels, orchestrating a symphony of desires and spiritual enlightenment. The chamber, witness to the convergence of divine and earthly desires, pulsed with energy as Wang Jian and the archangels navigated the uncharted territories of pleasure and power. As the night wore on, the archangels found themselves swept up in a tempest of passion and spiritual enlightenment. Wang Jian's skilled touch ignited fires within them that they had never known existed. The sensations were intense, the dual cultivation pushing them to the brink of ecstasy. In the midst of their shared pleasure, Wang Jian revealed a wicked grin. "You know, if I wanted to heal you all, I could easily do so without having sex with you." His eyes flashed with a depraved light as he continued, "However, I wanted to violate all of you, all of these sexy and beautiful angels. That is why I created this lie that you would all get powerful after spending a night with me." The archangels gasped in shock at his words, but Wang Jian's rough domination left them no choice. He took them one by one, roughening their wings and forcing them to submit to his every whim. They begged for mercy, for release, but he only grew more demanding, his touches becoming more intense with each passing moment. Seraphim found herself pinned beneath him, her wings spread wide and her body aching for release. As he drove into her, she couldn't help but feel a mixture of pleasure and shame at her own depravity. Angelica's luminous wings trembled as she felt his powerful thrusts deep inside her. Raphael's stoic exterior crumbled under the onslaught of pleasure and power as she was violated again and again. Read latest chapters at n/velbi.co/m. Uriel watched in awe as her fellow archangels succumbed to Wang Jian's desires. A part of her wanted to resist, to maintain the purity of their celestial forms. But another part couldn't deny the allure of the sensations that coursed through her body. Gabriel felt her resolve weakening as she watched the others succumb. Her pure eyes locked with Wang Jian's, pleading for mercy, but it was clear that he was not about to relent. Throughout the night, Wang Jian took the archangels to heights of pleasure they had never experienced before. Their spiritual energies intertwined, creating a cacophony of celestial bliss. The aftermath of that night left the once virtuous archangels in a state of physical and mental exhaustion. Their luminous wings, once symbols of purity, now bore the weight of their transgressions, transformed into a deep shade of black that mirrored the darkness that had enveloped them. In the dim light of the chamber, Wang Jian sat casually, a wicked grin still playing on his lips as he observed the archangels. The air was thick with a mixture of shame, pleasure, and an unspoken understanding of the transformation that had occurred. As the archangels struggled to regain their composure, Wang Jian's eyes sparkled with a depraved light. "Well, my dear archangels, I trust you've enjoyed the night. It was quite the experience, wasn't it?" he remarked with a smirk. Seraphim, still recovering from the night's intense experiences, managed to lock eyes with Wang Jian. There was a mixture of confusion and realization in her gaze. She sensed that something beyond the dual cultivation had transpired. The angelic sky city, once under her command, had shifted allegiance during the night. Wang Jian, as if reading her thoughts, chuckled. "You might have noticed a shift in authority. Consider the angelic sky city under new management." Seraphim's expression shifted, and her gaze flickered with a mix of defiance and resignation. "What have you done?" she inquired, her voice a delicate whisper. Wang Jian leaned back, his demeanor nonchalant. "I've simply seized control. Your people will continue to live on the angelic sky city, but now, you'll answer to me. You can maintain the facade of leadership, but in reality, you'll be following my commands." The archangels, mentally and physically drained, exchanged glances. The weight of the revelation settled upon them as they grappled with the altered dynamics of their existence. Wang Jian, still wearing his wicked grin, added, "Don't worry. Your secret, the shift in power, will remain between us. The other angels need not know about this arrangement. It's our little secret. The archangels, realizing the inevitability of their new reality, nodded in reluctant acceptance. The shame of their actions during the night mingled with the understanding that their destinies were now intertwined with the whims of Wang Jian. As they absorbed the weight of the unspoken agreement, Wang Jian rose from his seat, his eyes gleaming with a mix of satisfaction and authority. Now, let's continue our partnership in ruling over the angel race, shall we? The aftermath of that night left the entire angel race in a state of both physical exhaustion and newfound power. The once pure white wings of the angels had all turned to the deep darkness of depravity, a visible manifestation of the profound changes that had occurred. Wang Jian, having harnessed the abilities of the soul board, had meticulously healed and strengthened each angel, pushing them to the very limits of their potential. In the aftermath, the angelic sky city buzzed with newfound energy, and the angels, having spent the night in dual cultivation with Wang Jian, felt an unprecedented surge in their abilities. For the common angels, the night had catapulted them to the peak of the Saint Realm cultivation stage, their powers now refined to their maximum potential. The archangels, on the other hand, experienced an even more profound transformation. Breaking through the boundaries of their former limitations, they ascended to the coveted immortal realm cultivation stage. Wang Jian's unique powers had not only enhanced their strength but also broadened the scope of their abilities. Realizing the urgency of their situation and the impending battle against Jiangchen, Wang Jian, in a display of his control over the laws of time, manipulated the temporal flow within the bodies of the angels. In simple terms, for every second that passed in the external world, their bodies experienced an entire minute. This extraordinary manipulation shortened the anticipated 3 months of seclusion required for their breakthrough to the immortal realm stage to a mere 1.5 days. Wang Jian's mastery over time laws had compressed the temporal constraints, allowing the angels to emerge from their seclusion with newfound strength in a fraction of the expected time. As the angels adjusted to their enhanced abilities and the altered flow of time within their bodies, they understood the immense power that Wang Jian wielded. Within the angelic sky city, the angels marveled at their transformed wings, now a deep shade of darkness that mirrored the night they had spent with Wang Jian. The once virtuous beings now possessed a dual nature, a duality that mirrored their celestial forms. The city itself pulsed with an otherworldly energy, a testament to the supernatural changes that had transpired. Wang Jian, observing the result of his actions, addressed the angels with a casual yet authoritative tone. "You've all undergone a profound transformation. Embrace your newfound strength, for it will serve you well in the battles ahead." The angels, still adjusting to the accelerated changes within them, nodded in acknowledgement. The weight of their wings, now symbols of both their depravity and enhanced power, bore testament to the pact they had unwittingly entered with Wang Jian. As dawn approached, the angelic sky city stood as a testament to the extraordinary events that had unfolded. Wang Jian, having left the angelic sky city after orchestrating the profound transformation of the angel race, now turned his attention back to his faction in the Verzen Empire. The night of carnal indulgence with the angels had achieved its purpose, boosting their strength significantly. Now, Wang Jian sought to extend this power to his queens and the other women residing in his territory. As he teleported back to the Verzen Empire, the gleam of determination in Wang Jian's eyes was unmistakable. He had always been conscious of the diverse group of women who shared his life, from queens to concubines and mistresses. Each held a unique place in his affections, and he was resolved to empower them to their full potential. Upon arriving in Verzen, Wang Jian sensed the energy resonating from his queen's physiques. It was a subtle but distinct shift, a sign that their bodies had assimilated the essence derived from the night of passion he had spent with them. This energy, a manifestation of the dual cultivation, held the potential to propel them to the immortal realm cultivation stage. A smirk played on Wang Jian's lips as he strolled into the grand chamber where his queens awaited him. The air was charged with anticipation, and the queens exchanged glances, recognizing the aura that surrounded Wang Jian, a blend of authority and desire. Empress Su Xian, second Queen Fin Shuang, third Queen Chen, and the rest, each wore an expectant look as Wang Jian entered. He addressed them with a casual yet confident tone, "Ladies, it's time to take our connections to new heights." The queens, familiar with the rhythm of their lord's words, understood the implication. The night unfolded into a series of passionate encounters, each queen experiencing the intense dual cultivation with Wang Jian. The room echoed with the sounds of pleasure and the whispers of connection. Wang Jian, ever the attentive lover, ensured that each moment was tailored to the desires of his queens. Whether it was a gentle touch, a whispered promise, or an intense surge of power, he adapted to their needs. His casual demeanor masked the precision with which he orchestrated their connection, guiding them toward the pinnacle of their potential. As the night progressed, the chamber became a canvas of emotions and desires. Moans of ecstasy mingled with whispered endearments, and the queens, one by one, felt the surge of power coursing through their bodies. The essence gained from the dual cultivation, now amplified by Wang Jian's skillful manipulation, propelled them toward the immortal realm cultivation stage. Wang Jian, immersed in the shared pleasure, reveled in the intimate connection with his queens. His control over the soul board, which had initially enabled him to manipulate time and grant immense power to the angels, was now harnessed to guide his queens to new heights of cultivation. Read the latest stories en novelbin.com. The night, marked by passion and power, wove a tapestry of fulfillment and strength. The queens, sated yet invigorated, embraced the transformation that had unfolded. As the dawn approached, Wang Jian surveyed the room, his queens now radiating an aura that surpassed their former selves. "Embrace the power you've gained, my dear queens," Wang Jian declared with a contented smile. "This is but the beginning of our journey to unparalleled strength." Wang Jian, having strengthened his queens, turned his attention to the array of concubines and mistresses that filled his life. The next couple of nights promised to be a cascade of pleasure and intimate connection. Each woman, a unique thread in the tapestry of Wang Jian's affections, awaited their turn for the dual cultivation that would elevate them to the immortal realm stage. The lineup included the vibrant first concubine Kang Huyan, the graceful second concubine Han Shifeng, the enchanting silver-tailed fox race beauty third concubine Bishi Shuyan, the stoic fourth concubine Xiao Ling, the alluring fifth concubine Meng Xiangyi, the elegant sixth concubine Su Yuding, the spirited seventh concubine Yi Yanling, the cold eighth concubine Yi Yan, and the gentle ninth concubine Hua Qiao. This was just the beginning of Wang Jian's intimate journey. Beyond the concubines, Wang Jian's life was intertwined with secret mistresses, each harboring a clandestine connection with him. There was the former ruler of the Verzhen Empire, Empress Victoria, and the current ruler, Empress Isabella. Lady Xia, the mother of second Queen Fin Shuang, added her presence to the mix, along with Lady Zhuoran, a sexy silver-tailed fox race member with 7 silver tails, who was Bishi Shuyan's mother. Luo Qiu, who was Wang Ying's mother, Yan Yo was sexy MILF, who was Wang Hao's mother, Wang Jian's elder sister Wang Ying, Zyrithia from the Nether Curseweaver Devil clan, and numerous others completed the roster. Wang Jian reveled in the diverse company of his concubines and mistresses. The nights unfolded into a symphony of passion, laughter, and shared desire. Each woman, despite her unique status, found herself captivated by the allure of Wang Jian's presence. The true power of Wang Jian's manipulation lay not only in the strength he bestowed upon them but in the shared moments of intimacy. For these women, the promise of reaching the immortal realm stage was secondary to the ecstasy they experienced in Wang Jian's embrace. He, the puppeteer of pleasure, led them through the dance of carnal desire. As the nights progressed, the chambers echoed with the laughter and moans of women lost in the throes of passion. Wang Jian, attuned to the desires of each, tailored the experience to match the unique connection he shared with every woman. The laughter shared, the whispered confessions, and the lingering touches painted a picture of genuine connection amidst the sea of desire. As the dawn approached, each woman, having basked in the afterglow of their encounters, felt a transformative energy coursing through their bodies. The essence derived from the dual cultivation, amplified by Wang Jian's mastery, was now propelling them toward the immortal realm cultivation stage. In the quiet moments that followed, Wang Jian surveyed the room, a contented smile playing on his lips. The nights had woven a tapestry of connection, pleasure, and newfound strength, leaving a lasting mark on the diverse array of women who shared his life. In the aftermath of the nights filled with passion and transformation, as the women of his harem entered a profound state of closed-door cultivation, Wang Jian's attention shifted to the pressing matter at hand, the southern region seized by Wang Hao's faction. Determined to reclaim the territory, Wang Jian decided it was time to confront this thorn in his side. Utilizing a teleportation array, he whisked himself away to the southern region, appearing on the outskirts of the contested domain. The southern region, once under the control of Wang Jian's faction, now bore the marks of Wang Hao's influence. The clash of energies and the tension in the air signaled the impending storm as Wang Jian prepared to unleash chaos upon his adversaries. Wang Jian stood on a vantage point, surveying the battlefield with a calculating gaze. The southern region, a sprawling expanse that had witnessed both power struggles and shifting alliances, was now a battleground where the clash of titans would unfold. A depraved smirk danced on Wang Jian's lips as he surveyed the landscape. The clash of power was imminent, and he relished the chaos he was about to unleash. With a flick of his wrist, Wang Jian summoned his formidable powers, and the atmosphere vibrated with the raw energy he commanded. Wang Jian's lips moved as he faced the opposition and he muttered, Well, did you think you could waltz into my territory and not face consequences, eldest brother? Well, I guess I will play with your forces until you get here. The battle unfolded with a symphony of clashes, a dance of martial prowess that echoed across the southern region. Wang Jian, his every movement a testament to the mastery he had attained, cut through the opposing forces with ease. The raw power emanating from him was overwhelming, and he reveled in the thrill of single-handedly taking on an entire faction. As he confronted Wang Hao's forces, Wang Jian's voice carried over the battlefield. You should have known better than to challenge me. This is my territory, and I don't take kindly to intruders. The southern region became a canvas for the clash of two formidable factions. Wang Jian, with his unparalleled strength, became the embodiment of chaos, wreaking havoc upon those who dared to challenge his supremacy. Each strike was a proclamation of his dominance, and the opposing forces could only muster feeble resistance in the face of his overwhelming might. Amidst the chaos, Wang Jian's laughter echoed. You thought you could hold on to this territory? I'm afraid that was wishful thinking. The battle raged on, and Wang Jian's prowess became more evident with every passing moment. His control over the elements, his mastery of martial arts, and the sheer force of his raw power tipped the scales in his favor. The battle between Wang Jian and Wang Hao's faction unfolded with an intensity that shook the very foundations of the southern region. The clash of two formidable forces, each wielding their might, turned the landscape into a chaotic arena of power and determination. Wang Hao's faction, recognizing the gravity of the situation, spared no expense in utilizing their arsenal of resources. Precious talismans adorned the skies, forming intricate patterns that wove together into powerful array formations. Battle formations were meticulously set up on the ground, enhancing the combat capabilities of the forces. The air hummed with the activation of precious artifacts and treasures, each item resonating with the essence of power. However, despite the formidable display by Wang Hao's faction, Wang Jian stood at the forefront with an air of absolute confidence. His immortal realm cultivation allowed him to effortlessly navigate the array formations and dispel the talismanic barriers. Every move he made was a dance of power, a symphony of martial prowess that left his opponents in awe. The forces of Wang Hao's faction, once confident in their overwhelming numbers and resources, found themselves struggling against the indomitable force that was Wang Jian. As Wang Jian effortlessly overcame the array formations and neutralized the talismanic defenses, the news of the battle reached Wang Hao. His eyes glinted with a fierce determination as he swiftly made his way towards the unfolding conflict. He yearned for the opportunity to personally confront Wang Jian, to settle the score that had lingered between them. Meanwhile, in the heart of the battlefield, Wang Jian's laughter echoed. "Come on! Is there no one here who can give me a real challenge?" Wang Hao, determined to be that challenge, arrived at the scene. The anticipation in the air grew thick as the two formidable forces locked eyes. Wang Jian, with his newfound immortal realm cultivation, stood confident, while Wang Hao, fueled by the god of war spirit, exuded an aura of undeniable power. Taunting words left Wang Jian's lips. "I see you've finally decided to join the party. It's about time." Wang Hao's response was a stern expression, his eyes gleaming with the resolve to defeat his adversary. "You may have reached the immortal realm, but that won't save you. I will still kill you today." Wang Hao unleashed the power of the god of war spirit. The transformation was swift, and Wang Hao's demeanor shifted as the spirit took control. A surge of energy enveloped him, marking the manifestation of the third stage of the immortal realm. Explore new ovals on nvelbai.com. The clash between the two immortal realm cultivators was inevitable. The battlefield crackled with energy as Wang Jian and Wang Hao faced each other, the air heavy with anticipation. The entire faction under Wang Hao's command, recognizing the overwhelming power emanating from both immortal realm cultivators, wisely retreated, knowing that interfering in this clash would only lead to their demise. Wang Jian, with a wicked grin, spoke casually, "Looks like your minions have the sense to know when to step aside." Wang Hao, his expression resolute, responded, "They understand that this battle is beyond their capacity. It's between you and me now." The clash began with a thunderous resonance, marking the commencement of a duel that would decide the fate of the southern region. Wang Jian and Wang Hao circled each other, their movements fluid and precise. Wang Hao, empowered by the god of war spirit, initiated the exchange. His techniques were divine in nature, each move a display of the spirit's mastery over elements and weapons. The first technique, Celestial Whirlwind Slash, sent razor-sharp winds slicing through the air, aiming for Wang Jian. The Immortal Realm Cultivator responded with a swift evasive maneuver, avoiding the deadly gusts. Undeterred, Wang Hao unleashed the second technique, Heaven's Thunderstrike Hammer. A massive hammer materialized in the air, crackling with lightning. The god of war spirit swung the hammer with immense force, aiming to crush Wang Jian. The Immortal Realm Cultivator countered with a defensive stance, his aura emanating a barrier that absorbed the thunderous impact. Wang Jian retaliated, revealing the flames of the Phoenix technique. Trails of scorching flames enveloped his fists as he launched a barrage of fiery punches. The god of war spirit dodged with agility, the flames licking at his heels. The battle continued with a mesmerizing exchange of techniques. Wang Jian, tapping into his elemental prowess, unleashed the shadows of the night, becoming an elusive silhouette that danced around the god of war spirit's attacks. Wang Hao, undeterred, employed the serpentine gale dance, manipulating gusts of wind to deflect Wang Jian's shadowy assault. The god of war spirit, showcasing its versatility, conjured a spear of solidified energy with the astral lance of eternity. The ethereal weapon thrust forward, aiming to pierce Wang Jian's defenses. Wang Jian countered with his own spatial manipulation, executing the Void Shatter Palm, disrupting the trajectory of the incoming lance. Wang Hao's arsenal seemed limitless as he manifested various weapons, a sword, a bow, a staff, all extensions of the god of war spirit's profound energy. Each strike and shot were masterfully executed, creating a symphony of destruction. Wang Jian, undeterred, demonstrated his control over lightning with the Thunderclap Fury Fist. Bolts of electricity crackled around his fists as he launched a rapid assault. The god of war spirit, sensing the impending danger, swiftly dodged the electrifying blows. As the battle reached its zenith, Wang Jian and the god of war spirit engaged in a breathtaking display of skill and power. The southern region trembled under the impact of their clashes, the landscape forever altered by the forces at play. Wang Jian, his eyes ablaze with determination, shouted, "Is this the best you've got, Wang Hao? Show me more!" Wang Hao, channeling the might of the god of war spirit, responded, "You underestimate the power you face, Wang Jian. Witness the true extent of my strength." The battlefield echoed with their roars as the clash of immortal realm cultivators intensified. As the battle between Wang Jian and Wang Hao reached its crescendo, the energy in the air crackled with intensity. The god of war spirit within Wang Hao seemed to tap into an even deeper reservoir of power, unveiling techniques that surpassed the previous displays of divine might. Wang Jian, his expression growing more serious, recognized the escalating threat. He could sense the surge in the god of war spirit's power, prompting him to elevate his own combat prowess to match the impending onslaught. Wang Hao initiated the next phase of his assault with the ethereal cyclone blades, summoning swirling blades of energy that spun around him. The deadly vortex of blades sliced through the air, aiming to overwhelm Wang Jian with sheer numbers. Wang Jian responded with a swift activation of his wind dance steps, a technique that allowed him to move with unparalleled agility, avoiding the razor-sharp onslaught. Not to be outdone, Wang Jian unleashed his own devastating technique, the Crimson Inferno Whirlwind. A tempest of scorching flames enveloped him as he advanced, countering the ethereal cyclone blades with searing heat. The clash of elements painted a mesmerizing spectacle on the battlefield. Wang Hao, undeterred, tapped into the god of war spirit's mastery of spatial manipulation. With the abyssal rift spear, he created miniature black rifts in space, distorting the trajectory of Wang Jian's movements. The spatial anomalies threatened to trap Wang Jian within their grasp, but the immortal realm cultivator responded with his own spatial technique, the Dawn Step Blink. The battlefield became a canvas of intertwined spatial anomalies and blazing flames as the two immortal realm cultivators engaged in a dance of power. Wang Jian, realizing the need to match the escalating threat, activated the Lightning Serpent Fury, summoning a spectral serpent composed of crackling lightning. The ethereal serpent lunged at Wang Hao, its electrifying jaws ready to strike. Wang Hao, embracing the god of war spirit's affinity for all elements, deftly countered the lightning serpent with the eclipsing cascade frost. A wave of icy energy emanated from his form, extinguishing the lightning serpent and freezing the immediate vicinity. The clash between fire and ice painted a stunning tableau of contrasting forces. As the battle raged on, both combatants began to push their limits. Wang Jian, maintaining focus, unleashed the Divine Gale Reckoning, a technique that harmonized wind and lightning into a devastating force. The shockwaves of the Divine Gale rippled through the battlefield, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Wang Hao, realizing the need to further amplify his power, channeled the god of war spirit's essence into the celestial annihilation fist. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp as Wang Hao's fist connected with the air, releasing shockwaves that disrupted the elemental equilibrium. Wang Jian, recognizing the gravity of the situation, countered with the temporal harmonic shield, a spatial barrier that absorbed the brunt of the celestial annihilation force. The clash of these formidable techniques shook the southern region to its core. The earth trembled, and the sky itself seemed to bear witness to the titanic clash of immortal realm cultivators. As the battle between Wang Jian and Wang Hao reached its zenith, both immortal realm cultivators prepared to unleash their most formidable techniques, intending to decide the outcome of their intense conflict. Wang Hao, influenced by the god of war spirit within him, summoned the ultimate attack known as Apocalypse Convergence. This technique harnessed the essence of war and destruction, creating a cataclysmic force capable of annihilating everything in its path. The god of war spirit manifested ethereal swords in the air, each representing a battlefield, and with a swift motion, Wang Hao directed them towards Wang Jian. The swords, resembling a legion of celestial weapons, hurtled through space, leaving trails of devastation in their wake. The sheer destructive power of the Apocalypse Convergence threatened to erase anything caught within its grasp. Wang Jian, realizing the magnitude of the impending attack, steeled himself for what was to come. On the other side, Wang Jian gathered the dark energies of the Eclipse Domain Annihilation. This devil attribute attack, infused with the power of spatial manipulation, was an embodiment of the abyssal forces. As Wang Jian channeled the chaotic energies, the surrounding atmosphere darkened, and a vortex of malevolent shadows coalesced around him. The eclipse domain annihilation manifested as a swirling maelstrom of devilish energy, resonating with spatial distortions that warped reality itself. The pitch-black vortex emanated an ominous aura, reflecting the fusion of devil attribute and spatial elements. Wang Jian, with unwavering resolve, directed the dark vortex towards Wang Hao's approaching apocalypse convergence. The moment of impact between the two ultimate attacks created an explosion of unparalleled magnitude. The clash of celestial swords and abyssal energies resonated across the southern region, causing shockwaves that reverberated through the very fabric of space. The sky itself seemed to fracture as the opposing forces collided, unleashing an indescribable spectacle of destruction. Massive craters formed on the battlefield, the landscape scarred by the aftermath of their clash. The shockwaves radiated outward, devastating the surroundings and claiming countless lives within their reach. The southern region, once teeming with life, now bore the scars of the titanic battle between the two immortal realm cultivators. The ferocity of their ultimate attacks not only reshaped the southern region's topography but also left an indelible mark on the memories of those who witnessed the cataclysmic confrontation. The once thriving cities and landscapes were now marred by the profound impact of the battle, creating a haunting testament to the destructive power unleashed by the clash of immortal realm cultivators. Wang Jian and Wang Hao, at the center of the chaos, stood locked in a fierce struggle, the remnants of their ultimate attacks dissipating around them. The battlefield bore witness to the aftermath of their clash, a stark reminder of the consequences when beings of such power clashed in their pursuit of dominance. Wang Hao, battered and gravely injured, found himself in a vulnerable position. One knee touched the ground as he struggled to rise, his body displaying the aftermath of the catastrophic clash. His once imposing aura had diminished, and a sense of shock and disbelief emanated from him. The god of war spirit within him, too, was unable to hide its astonishment at the resilience displayed by Wang Jian. Wang Jian, in stark contrast, stood with an almost bored expression, his body adorned with mere scratches that seemed inconsequential compared to the devastation wrought upon Wang Hao. He took a leisurely step forward, examining his opponent with a discerning gaze. With a hint of mockery in his voice, Wang Jian addressed Wang Hao, "Is this the extent of the god of war spirit's might? I expected more from a spirit hailing from the upper realm." His words pierced through the air, causing a momentary silence. In response, the god of war spirit, still in control of Wang Hao's body, retorted defiantly, "If not for the fact that this brat's cultivation hadn't broken through to the immortal realm, I definitely would have emerged victorious." Wang Jian rolled his eyes at the retort, dismissing the god of war spirit's arrogance. "If that's your excuse, then you are indeed disappointing," Wang Jian remarked, his tone dismissive. "If Wang Hao was at the immortal realm cultivation, it wouldn't have boosted the power of your abilities since you are already at the immortal realm stage right now, you would just have more immortal chi. However, let me tell you a secret. I haven't used even 10% of my true power in this battle." The revelation struck both Wang Hao and the god of war spirit with a chilling realization. The atmosphere grew tense as the god of war spirit, for the first time, fell silent in acknowledgement. It sensed the undeniable truth in Wang Jian's words, that the battle had been an exhibition of restraint on Wang Jian's part. Taking another step forward, Wang Jian fixed his gaze on the injured Wang Hao, his tone carrying a subtle warning. Visit novilbin.c/m for the L-test updates. You shouldn't have dared to attack my southern region. If you had stayed in the eastern seas, you might have lived out your days in peace as an overlord of that place. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on Wang Hao as he struggled to rise, the injuries taking a toll on his once confident demeanor. Wang Jian's words lingered in the air, underscoring the consequences of challenging a force that far surpassed his expectations. With a calculated step forward, Wang Jian approached the fallen Wang Hao, his eyes locking onto the defeated figure before him. The air crackled with a palpable tension as Wang Jian, without hesitation, unleashed a fatal strike, ending Wang Hao's life. The god of war spirit, forcibly ejected from its host, found itself ensnared in a specially crafted artifact formed from the wood of the world tree. This prison, a creation of Wang Jian's immense power, proved more than sufficient to contain the formidable spirit within. The battlefield, once a tumult of clashing powers, now lay in eerie silence as the remnants of Wang Hao's faction gathered around, witnessing the demise of their leader. As the wooden prison sealed shut, a hushed stillness enveloped the area, broken only by Wang Jian's commanding presence. Turning his attention to the subdued forces, Wang Jian posed a simple yet weighty question: "Will you submit to me?" The inquiry echoed through the air, laden with an implicit threat that resonated in the hearts of Wang Hao's followers. Almost immediately, a sense of submission permeated the air, and one by one, the members of Wang Hao's faction dropped to their knees, prostrating themselves before Wang Jian. A unified chorus echoed their submission, a fervent acknowledgement of their newfound allegiance. As for the sea monster race, their allegiance to Wang Hao had been tethered to the Sea King's bead nestled within his dantian. With Wang Hao's demise, the powerful artifact emerged, its destiny entwined with Wang Jian's. The Sea King's bead fused seamlessly with Wang Jian, bringing the entire sea monster race under his undisputed command. The first decree that fell from Wang Jian's lips was a directive to Wang Hao's forces. They were to harness their abilities to reconstruct the devastated southern region, erasing all visible traces of the destructive battle waged by him and Wang Hao's battle. The once tumultuous terrain would undergo a transformation, shaped anew under Wang Jian's authority. The aftermath of Wang Jian's decisive victory over Wang Hao was abruptly interrupted by a foreboding shockwave emanating from the central region of the continent. This ripple of power, with its formidable intensity, bore the potential to extinguish all life beneath the Qing realm cultivation stage. The urgency of the situation propelled Wang Jian into immediate action. With a swift and purposeful movement, Wang Jian unleashed shadows that cascaded across the entire border of the southern region, intertwining with the boundary that separated the southern from the central region. The shadows enveloped the demarcation with an impenetrable darkness, casting an unsettling and absolute obscurity. For a fleeting moment, the residents of the southern region were plunged into an abyss of pitch-black darkness, a sight that inspired awe and terror in equal measure. Yet, within the veil of shadows, Wang Jian stood vigilant, preparing to confront the impending threat. The looming shockwave collided with the boundary walls of the southern region, but rather than causing devastation, it was entirely absorbed by the shadows woven by Wang Jian's adept control. The seamless absorption prevented the catastrophic impact that would have befallen the region, and in the wake of the collision, the shadows receded, unveiling the southern region unscathed. However, the power contained within the shockwave left an indelible impression on Wang Jian's senses. It carried an unmistakable trace of the Dragon Prince's formidable might, coupled with the unmistakable resonance of multiple supreme immortals. A cold smile played on Wang Jian's lips as he deciphered the implications of this powerful convergence. It became evident to him that a fierce conflict was unfolding in the central region. The Draconic clan was seemingly engaged in a tumultuous battle against the formidable forces of the Heavenly Court. The unexpected strength exhibited by the Heavenly Court surpassed Wang Jian's initial estimations, adding a layer of intrigue to the unfolding events in the heart of the continent. Having swiftly resolved the affairs in the southern region, Wang Jian anticipated the approaching shockwaves of the tumultuous battle transpiring in the central region. Hastening back to the northern states of the continent, he acted on his foresight, erecting a dark, shadowy barrier along the boundary between the northern states and the impending chaos in the central region. With the barrier in place, Wang Jian patiently awaited the emergence of his wives from their closed-door cultivation. 2 days passed, and one by one each wife emerged at the pinnacle of power, having reached the immortal realm cultivation stage. The culmination of their efforts brought an air of confidence to the group. In a chamber within the Verzen Empire, Wang Jian gathered his wives for a discussion that would shape the course of their actions. The immortal realm now stretched before them, a realm of power unmatched, and Wang Jian felt a sense of assurance that his wives were no longer susceptible to the dangers that had lurked before. Wang Jian, with a gravely determined expression, addressed his wives. The time has come for me to venture into the central region. The battle there is critical, dangerous, and I need to assess the situation firsthand. Now that all of you have reached the immortal realm stage, I can entrust the protection of the northern states to you. Empress Su Xian, 2nd Queen Fan Shuiying, 3rd Queen Chen Yan, 4th Queen Hong Meilin, 5th Queen Stella, and 6th Queen Jean Meixiang listened attentively, their expressions a blend of curiosity and readiness for the challenges that lay ahead. Empress Su Xian, known for her astuteness, spoke first. My love, we understand the gravity of the situation. Now that we've reached the immortal realm, we do realize the massive disparity of powers between ours and yours. I know that if we come with you, we might only hold you back in the fight against Dragon Prince and the Heavenly Court. Don't worry, we'll do everything in our power to safeguard the northern states. Fan Shuiying, known for her resilience, added, we've trained hard to reach this stage. The northern states will be safe under our watch. Chen Yan, displaying a mix of determination and concern, voiced her thoughts. Wang Jian, please be cautious. We'll manage the northern states, but your safety is paramount to us. Hong Meilin, known for her strategic acumen, remarked, go and do what you must. Stella, the butterfly spirit queen, fluttered her wings in agreement. We've got this. You focus on the central region. Jean Meixiang, with a mischievous smile, teased, just make sure you come back to us in one piece, Wang Jian. We're not letting you off the hook that easily. Wang Jian, moved by the unwavering support of his wives, nodded appreciatively. I promise to return as soon as I can, my loves. As the wives dispersed, preparing for their roles in safeguarding the northern states, Wang Jian couldn't help but feel a mixture of pride and gratitude for the formidable women by his side. As Wang Jian ventured into the central region, he sensed the immense chaos and conflict that had unfolded in the wake of the Draconic clan's confrontation with the Heavenly Court. The battleground was scarred, immortal dominion shattered, and the very fabric of reality seemed strained from the clash of titanic forces. In the midst of this celestial warfare, the Draconic clan, under the indomitable leadership of the Dragon Prince, valiantly resisted the overwhelming might of the Heavenly Court's primordial Yin-Yang immortal dominion. The primordial Yang immortal dominion, a manifestation of the fundamental forces of the universe, wielded unparalleled power, drawing from the heaven vein that permeated the celestial realm. The primordial Yin-Yang immortal dominion, harnessed by the Heavenly Court, manifested its overwhelming power. One of its unique abilities, aptly named celestial augmentation, resonated through the battlefield. This power surged through every member of the Heavenly Court, boosting their strength to unprecedented levels. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the augmented energy of the celestial forces. Another formidable ability at play was the ancestral resurgence, a technique that summoned the spirits of the most potent experts from the Heavenly Court's history. Warriors of the past, each at the zenith of their power, materialized on the battlefield, ready to confront the Draconic clan and the ancient beast races. Facing this formidable assault, the Draconic clan's resistance centered around the Dragon Prince's incredible power. His minor world, a domain he had forged with his supreme cultivation, acted as a bastion against the Heavenly Court's overwhelming forces. Within the Supreme Dragon God Palace, a structure that emanated ancient draconic energies, the Dragon Prince unleashed the palace's might. The dragon's dominion ability intensified the strength of every member of the Draconic clan, turning them into formidable opponents capable of standing toe-to-toe with the resurrected experts from the Heavenly Court. Simultaneously, the endless vigor ability granted the Dragon Prince boundless energy. As long as he remained within the Supreme Dragon God Palace, he drew upon an unending reservoir of vitality, making him an indomitable force on the battlefield. Explore Ta T stories at no/l/bin.cm. The clash of powers and strategies between the Dragon Prince and Supreme Immortal Genie became the focal point of the raging battle. The Celestial Nexus Immortal Dominion, Elemental Nexus Immortal Dominion, and the Radiant Oasis Immortal Sanctuary bore witness to the devastation as the two mighty forces collided. The Dragon Prince, surrounded by the ethereal glow of his Supreme Dragon God Palace, faced Supreme Immortal Genie, whose aura resonated with the power of the primordial Yin Yang Immortal Dominion. As the battle unfolded, Supreme Immortal Genie unleashed the Heavenly Cyclone, a swirling vortex of celestial energy that sought to overwhelm the Draconic clan. In response, the Dragon Prince invoked the Draconic Shroud, a protective barrier that nullified the effects of the Heavenly Cyclone, leaving the Draconic clan unscathed. However, Genie had more tricks up his sleeve. With a commanding gesture, he invoked the Celestial Judgment, a beam of divine light that pierced through the heavens and descended upon the Dragon Prince. The radiant force threatened to pierce through the defenses of the Supreme Dragon God Palace. Witnessing this, the Dragon Prince roared, channeling the Draconic Ascendance. The minor world expanded, intercepting the Celestial Judgment and repelling the Celestial Force with draconic might. The skies trembled as the clash of these two formidable powers created shockwaves that rippled across the battlefield. As the relentless clash between the Draconic clan, led by the Dragon Prince, and the forces of the Heavenly Court, commanded by Supreme Immortal Genie, unfolded in the central region, the battlefield became a canvas of celestial energies and draconic might. The Celestial Nexus Immortal Dominion, pulsating with the primordial Yin-Yang Immortal Dominion's energy, stood in stark contrast to the Supreme Dragon God Palace, radiating ancient draconic power. The sky crackled with the clash of these two extraordinary immortal dominions. Supreme Immortal Genie, orchestrating the celestial forces, invoked the Heavenly Symphony, a harmonious resonance that disrupted the flow of the Dragon Prince's draconic energies. The ethereal notes of the symphony sought to weaken the draconic defenses, leaving them vulnerable to the Heavenly Court's onslaught. In response, the Dragon Prince, within the Supreme Dragon God Palace, unleashed the draconic crescendo. An overwhelming wave of draconic sound reverberated through the battlefield, countering the Heavenly Symphony and bolstering the Draconic clan's resolve. Meanwhile, the Heavenly Court was burning the midnight oil, utilizing their vast resources accumulated over countless eras. The Celestial Inferno technique saw the inexhaustible trove of resources transformed into an overwhelming surge of celestial flames. The Draconic clan, caught off guard, struggled against the intensity of the Celestial Inferno. Witnessing the onslaught, the Dragon Prince invoked the Draconic Tempest. The Supreme Dragon God Palace morphed into an enormous dragon, its scales absorbing and nullifying the celestial flames. The Tempest roared, pushing back the Celestial Inferno and shrouding the Draconic clan in an aura of draconic protection. The battlefield was a dance of celestial and draconic forces. Supreme Immortal Genie, standing at the heart of the primordial Yin-Yang Immortal Dominion, channeled the Heavenly Dominion's embrace, an expansive force seeking to envelope the Supreme Dragon God Palace and suppress its draconic essence. The Dragon Prince countered with the draconic sovereignty, empowering the Supreme Dragon God Palace to resist the embrace of the Heavenly Dominion. The clash of these opposing dominions created shockwaves that reverberated through the very fabric of the central region. The Celestial Nexus Immortal Dominion and the Supreme Dragon God Palace were locked in a battle of cosmic proportions. Each immortal dominion sought to outshine the other, their wielders pushing the limits of their powers in a bid for supremacy. Supreme Immortal Genie, sensing an opportunity, activated the Heavenly Resurgence. All the experts of the Heavenly Court who had died were immediately revived by the powers of the primordial Yin-Yang Immortal Dominion. Not to be outdone, the Dragon Prince unleashed the Draconic Retribution. Spirits of the ancient dragon materialized, their forms coalescing into a colossal draconic entity that countered all those revived experts of the Heavenly Court. The battlefield became a chaotic spectacle of clashes between the two forces. Amidst the celestial clash between the Draconic clan and the Heavenly Court, Wang Jian sensed the stalemate enveloping the battlefield. The Dragon Prince's mighty strength was formidable, yet even he couldn't entirely overcome the potency of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion fueled by a heaven vein. Simultaneously, the heavenly court lacked the sheer power required to defeat the Dragon Prince, creating an impasse. Wang Jian, wearing a sly grin, murmured to himself, "Time to break this deadlock," and swiftly soared towards the unfolding battle. The Dragon Prince and Supreme Immortal Genie momentarily ceased their duel, turning their attention to the approaching force. Dragon Prince spoke with a serious tone, "Genie, do you sense that?" Supreme Immortal Genie responded grimly, "The power of darkness emanating from this man seems to surpass even that of the ancient devil Jiangchen." Wang Jian's arrival on the battlefield was met with a charged atmosphere. The celestial energies crackled as both the Draconic clan and the Heavenly Court shifted their attention to this unexpected interloper. The Dragon Prince's eyes gleamed with anticipation, eager for a thrilling battle, while Supreme Immortal Genie eyed Wang Jian with a mix of wariness and curiosity. Recognition flickered in his gaze, as Wang Jian, the overlord of a major faction with support from the angel race, elven race, half of the devil race, and humans in the northern states, stood before them. In disbelief, Supreme Immortal Genie exclaimed, "Why, you are Wang Jian? How did you gain such strength in just a few short months?" The shock was palpable, considering that merely 2 months ago, the Heavenly Court's tool had measured Wang Jian's strength at the peak of the Saint Realm. Yet now, the aura emanating from him rivaled that of the Supreme Immortal Genie and the Dragon Prince themselves. Wang Jian, with an air of nonchalance, responded to Supreme Immortal Genie's astonished query. "Oh, a bit of morning exercise, a healthy diet, and voila, Immortal Realm strength. It's the latest fitness craze," he quipped, his tone dripping with sarcasm. The Dragon Prince couldn't help but chuckle at Wang Jian's casual demeanor. Supreme Immortal Genie, however, remained astounded, unable to fathom the magnitude of Wang Jian's sudden power surge. Wang Jian continued, "But jokes aside, I've acquired some interesting methods lately. You could say I stumbled upon a unique cultivation technique, the sneaky path to immortality." The Dragon Prince raised an eyebrow, intrigued by Wang Jian's audacity. "Sneaky path to immortality? Sounds like my kind of road. Mind sharing the secret?" he asked with a smirk. Wang Jian chuckled, "Well, you see, it involves a lot of late-night snacks, avoiding morning exercises, and a profound ability to nap anywhere, anytime." He mimicked a dramatic whisper, "Shoo, don't tell the cultivators, it's our little secret." The levity of Wang Jian's words contrasted sharply with the gravity of the ongoing battle between the Draconic clan and the Heavenly Court. The skies crackled with elemental clashes, and both factions watched with bated breath as the mysterious newcomer entered the fray. As Wang Jian surveyed the battlefield, he couldn't help but notice the exhaustion etched on the faces of the Draconic clan's warriors and the strained coordination within the Heavenly Court. It was clear that the protracted struggle had taken a toll on both sides. With a theatrical sigh, Wang Jian shook his head. "You folks seem to be having a blast, but I can't let the party continue without me," he declared, his words echoing with a blend of arrogance and amusement. Supreme Immortal Genie, recovering from his initial shock, assumed a defensive stance. "Wang Jian, your sudden rise to power may have surprised us, but it won't change the outcome of this battle. The Heavenly Court's might is unmatched." Wang Jian raised an eyebrow. "Unmatched, you say? That sounds like a challenge." With a confidence that matched the aura he exuded, Wang Jian broke the silence. "Dragon Prince," he addressed, "I propose a temporary alliance. Let's set aside our differences and deal with the Heavenly Court first." The Dragon Prince, baffled by this unexpected proposition, questioned, "Why would a human like you ally with me? Shouldn't you side with the Heavenly Court?" However, he then added with a frown on his face, "Are you suggesting that you think I am weaker than this old man? Is that why you are proposing this alliance with me and not him?" Wang Jian, with a nonchalant smile, explained his rationale. I simply want an uninterrupted duel against you, Dragon Prince. To make that happen, we need to deal with the Heavenly Court first. After all, what's the fun in a battle with constant interruptions? The audacity of Wang Jian's proposal stunned both the Dragon Prince and Supreme Immortal Genie. However, the Dragon Prince, instead of expressing outrage, erupted into hearty laughter. His amusement conveyed approval as he spoke out, "Very well. But as soon as the Heavenly Court is dealt with, we will begin our fight." Sure, Wang Jian spoke with a grin on his face. The celestial battlefield trembled as Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince joined forces, their might converging against the Heavenly Court. The clash of powers was nothing short of cataclysmic. Wang Jian wasted no time. He unfurled his true demonic god dominion, a realm born of darkness and unmatched power. This dominion boasted two extraordinary abilities: Eclipse Annihilation and Absolute Darkness. Eclipse Annihilation, akin to the Heavenly Court's primordial yin-yang immortal dominion, held the power to manipulate the fundamental forces of existence. It allowed Wang Jian to bend the laws of space and time, disrupting the very fabric of reality. Absolute Darkness, on the other hand, summoned shadows so profound that they could nullify any energy or technique they touched. It was a realm of darkness that devoured the light itself. In tandem, the Dragon Prince summoned his Supreme Dragon God Palace, infusing the battlefield with an atmosphere of draconic supremacy. This palace endowed him with inexhaustible energy, allowing him to unleash attacks of unfathomable magnitude. The palace's second ability empowered all draconic clan members and allied beasts, turning them into veritable powerhouses. The Heavenly Court, under Supreme Immortal Genie, found itself assailed by this dual onslaught. The primordial yin-yang immortal dominion, despite its formidable abilities, struggled to contain the combined forces of Wang Jian's true demonic god dominion and the Supreme Dragon God Palace. Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince, in a synchronized dance of chaos, weaved through the battlefield. Eclipse Annihilation and the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion clashed, distorting space and time. The energies collided, causing shockwaves that rippled through the celestial realm. Meanwhile, Absolute Darkness intertwined with the Supreme Dragon God Palace's aura. Shadows coiled around the draconic energies, strengthening their brilliance with demonic powers and plunging the battlefield into an eerie darkness. Supreme Immortal Genie, realizing the gravity of the situation, exerted the full power of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion. However, the relentless assault from Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince forced the Heavenly Court into a defensive position. The dominion's abilities strained under the weight of the opposing forces. The Dragon Prince, emboldened by the success of their combined might, roared defiantly. "Genie, is this the best the Heavenly Court can muster?" His words echoed across the battlefield, a challenge to the supreme power. Wang Jian, with a smirk, added, "You're not living up to the hype, old man." Supreme Immortal Genie, though maintaining a stoic facade, couldn't ignore the strain on the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion. The battlefield, marred by the clash of these formidable dominions, bore witness to the might of Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince's alliance. As the battle unfolded, the Heavenly Court faced an unprecedented threat. The relentless attacks and strategic prowess of Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince pushed the limits of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion. Cracks appeared in its once impenetrable facade. The Heavenly Court's forces, caught in the crossfire, struggled to maintain cohesion. Supreme Immortal Genie, recognizing the precarious situation, gritted his teeth. "Infuse more of your power into the immortal dominion. Don't let up for even a second. We must resist this." Yet, despite their determined defense, the Heavenly Court began to yield under the relentless assault. The brilliance of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion dimmed, and the celestial realm echoed with the tumult of battle. Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince, seizing the advantage, pressed on. Eclipse Annihilation and Absolute Darkness continued to unravel the fabric of reality, disrupting the very essence of the Heavenly Court's dominion. The Supreme Dragon God Palace, radiant with draconic energy, unleashed a barrage of attacks, each strike resonating with the power of an ancient dragon. The tide turned further in favor of Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince. The heavenly court's once mighty dominion crumbled under the relentless assault. Cracks spread like fractures in reality, threatening to shatter the foundation of the primordial Yin. Young immortal dominion. Wang Jian's laughter echoed through the chaos. Looks like the heavenly court's reign is nearing its end. The Dragon Prince, fueled by the thrill of the battle, added, "We'll bring them to their knees." As the alliance of Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince surged forward, the heavenly court faced an unprecedented crisis. The clash of dominions had reached a critical point, and the once unassailable primordial yin-yang immortal dominion teetered on the brink of collapse. The celestial battlefield hung in suspense as Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince halted their relentless assault on the heavenly court. Amidst the chaotic energy, Supreme Immortal Genie observed cautiously, uncertain of their motives. Wang Jian, with an amused glint in his eyes, turned to Supreme Immortal Genie. "Genie, you're not looking too confident over there. Feeling a bit under the weather?" The Dragon Prince chimed in with a sly grin. "Maybe you need a break, old man. This battle isn't getting any easier for you." Supreme Immortal Genie, a flicker of annoyance crossing his face, retorted, "Your mockery won't change the outcome. The heavenly court's might is unyielding." Wang Jian chuckled. "Oh, we're well aware of that. In fact, we were just wondering if you've run out of tricks up your sleeve. Maybe it's time to end this charade?" Dragon Prince nodded in agreement. "Indeed. Let's not keep the old man waiting any longer." With synchronized determination, Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince prepared to unleash their ultimate attacks. Wang Jian's eyes glowed with an eerie darkness as he initiated the Eclipse Domain Annihilation, a devilish attribute attack infused with the power of spatial manipulation. It was a technique born from the deepest recesses of his soul, a force capable of tearing through the very essence of existence. Explore Todd T's stories at no/l/bin.cm. Beside him, the Dragon Prince's aura surged with draconic energy, signaling the impending release of the Supreme Dragonfire Cataclysm. This attack harnessed the might of the Supreme Dragon God Palace to conjure an overwhelming torrent of dragonfire that could incinerate anything in its path. It was a display of raw draconic power, a force capable of reducing even the sturdiest defenses to ashes. As the two overlords prepared to unleash their devastating attacks, Supreme Immortal Genie focused the entirety of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion's power. He invoked an ancient incantation, channeling the celestial energies into a cataclysmic force that pulsed ominously. The battlefield trembled with anticipation as the three mighty forces coiled, each preparing to unleash its unparalleled might. A hushed tension filled the air, foretelling the impending clash that would decide the fate of the central region. Suddenly, the silence shattered as the triumvirate released their attacks simultaneously. The Eclipse Domain Annihilation, Supreme Dragonfire Cataclysm, and the unleashed force of the primordial yin-yang immortal dominion collided in a cataclysmic explosion. The impact reverberated through the celestial realm, tearing through the fabric of reality. The very ground beneath them quaked as a blinding burst of light engulfed the battlefield. The shockwave expanded outward, consuming everything in its path. In the wake of the collision, the central region lay devastated. The once majestic immortal dominions, Celestial Nexus, Elemental Nexus, and Radiant Oasis, crumbled into ruin. The overwhelming power unleashed in that moment left an indelible mark on the celestial landscape. As the dust settled and the echoes of destruction faded, the remnants of the battlefield revealed a transformed central region. Wang Jian, the Dragon Prince, and Supreme Immortal Genie stood amidst the devastation, each bearing the scars of the titanic clash. Wang Jian, his gaze unyielding, surveyed the aftermath. "Looks like we've redecorated the place a bit, don't you think?" The Dragon Prince, a smirk on his face, added, "A necessary sacrifice for a battle of this magnitude. Qingyi, it seems your primordial yin-yang immortal dominion couldn't stand up to our combined might." Supreme Immortal Qingyi, though visibly fatigued, remained defiant. "This is not the end. The Heavenly Court's legacy will endure." Wang Jian chuckled, his tone mocking. "Endure, perhaps, but your dominion is in ruins. You've played your part, old man. Now go and turn to dust." With those words, Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince turned away, leaving behind the shattered remnants of the once mighty Heavenly Court. The central region, now scarred by their conflict, bore witness to the shifting balance of power in the celestial realm. As the remnants of the Heavenly Court's forces dissipated, Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince turned their attention toward the desolate landscape. The primordial yin-yang immortal dominion loomed in the background, a testament to the might that once held sway over the celestial realm. Wang Jian, his eyes tracing the intricate patterns of the dominion, mused, "What a shame. This primordial yin-yang immortal dominion could have truly shone if its true master were still around." The Heavenly Court missed out on a spectacular show. Dragon Prince nodded in agreement, his draconic eyes fixed on the celestial remnants. Indeed. If the true wielder of this dominion had been alive, we might have faced a challenge worthy of our abilities. A moment of silence passed before Dragon Prince turned to Wang Jian, a glint in his eyes. "Speaking of challenges, I believe we haven't seen the full extent of each other's prowess, have we?" Wang Jian smirked, acknowledging the Dragon Prince's observation. "You're right. I've held back, and I suspect you've done the same. How about we remedy that?" Dragon Prince responded with a fierce grin. "Agreed. Let's not leave any doubts lingering." As Dragon Prince initiated the transformation of his Supreme Dragon God Palace, the celestial energies around him began to surge. The air resonated with draconic power, and a profound connection with the spirit of the Supreme Dragon God unfolded. The palace, now radiating in even more awe-inspiring aura, signified the commencement of Dragon Prince's full might. With a nod, Wang Jian focused his energies, activating the latent powers within him, the true dragon body, the devil bloodline, and the sacred yang body. Each of these powers, formidable on its own, merged seamlessly within Wang Jian's being, creating an anomaly that defied the very laws of the world. The true dragon body, though inherently weaker than the Dragon Prince's, gained unprecedented vitality and resilience when fused with the devil bloodline. The sacred yang body, originally specialized against devils, transformed into a force that transcended its limitations. The fusion of these three powers painted a portrait of a being beyond the conventional understanding of strength. As the amalgamation of powers surged within him, Wang Jian's aura radiated an otherworldly brilliance. The air crackled with energy as the fabric of reality itself seemed to warp around him. Even the Dragon Prince, seasoned in the essence of draconic might, couldn't help but marvel at the spectacle. Meanwhile, the Dragon Prince initiated the true form of the Supreme Dragon God Palace. The celestial energy around him condensed into an ethereal visage, the spirit of the Supreme Dragon God. A magnificent dragon, shimmering with draconic splendor, coalesced beside the Dragon Prince. Wang Jian, witnessing the awe-inspiring manifestation, couldn't help but acknowledge the sheer grandeur of the Supreme Dragon God Palace's true form. The fusion of the spirit of the Supreme Dragon God and the Dragon Prince represented an unparalleled force, one that had shattered the confines of a minor world. With both overlords at the pinnacle of their power, the cosmic stage was set for a battle that defied the very essence of the celestial realm. Dragon Prince, observing the transformation, acknowledged the unique resonance emanating from Wang Jian. "Your power is unorthodox. It's as if you're rewriting the rules of this world." Wang Jian, fully immersed in the amalgamated power, replied with a smirk, "Rules are meant to be broken. Now, let's indulge in a battle where the ordinary no longer applies." As the two overlords prepared to unleash their unfettered might upon each other, the celestial battlefield quivered with anticipation. The clash between Wang Jian and Dragon Prince erupted with a force that reverberated through the remnants of the celestial battlefield. The air crackled with potent energies as both overlords unleashed their newfound might upon each other. Wang Jian, with his amalgamated powers, lunged forward with blinding speed, his form becoming a blur. He unleashed the Devil Dragon's Dance, a technique that combined the fluidity of the dragon's movements with the ferocity of devilish strikes. Each step left an imprint on the very fabric of space, and every strike carried the weight of draconic and devilish energies. Dragon Prince, meeting Wang Jian's onslaught head-on, invoked the Supreme Dragon's Roar. A deafening roar echoed across the battlefield, shaking the foundations of reality. The sheer force of the roar created shockwaves, disrupting Wang Jian's momentum and forcing him to recalibrate his attacks. Wang Jian responded with the absolute darkness. The shadows he summoned embodied the essence of absolute darkness, swallowing everything in their path. The darkness coiled around Dragon Prince, attempting to restrict his movements and obscure his vision before swallowing him whole. Dragon Prince, undeterred, channeled the power of the Supreme Dragon God Palace to counteract the darkness. He unleashed the draconic resonance, causing his draconic aura to surge. The resonating energy dispelled the shadows and heightened his senses, enabling him to perceive Wang Jian's movements with unparalleled clarity. As the battle intensified, the two overlords engaged in a dance of destructive prowess. Wang Jian, wielding the Devil Dragon's Fury, unleashed a barrage of strikes that alternated between devilish and draconic manifestations. Dragon Prince, in response, invoked the Supreme Dragon's Wrath, his attacks embodying the fury of a celestial dragon. The clash of their energies sent shockwaves across the central region, creating spiraling tempests of power that laid waste to the already devastated landscape. The remnants of the immortal dominions quivered under the sheer force of the battle, bearing witness to an unprecedented display of celestial might. Wang Jian, adapting to Dragon Prince's resilience, initiated the Eclipsed Cataclysm. This attack, infused with devil attributes and spatial manipulation, created rifts in reality itself. Spatial anomalies distorted the battlefield, making it a volatile arena where conventional tactics held no sway. Dragon Prince, countering with the Supreme Dragon's Radiance, summoned ethereal dragon light that dispersed the spatial anomalies. The dragon light infused the battlefield with a transcendent radiance, challenging the very essence of the Eclipsed Cataclysm. The clash between the two opposing forces resulted in luminous explosions that painted the heavens with bursts of celestial hues. The battle reached a crescendo as both overlords approached the zenith of their power. Wang Jian, unleashing the full might of the sacred Yang body, initiated the Yang's convergence. Radiant beams of golden energy cascaded from his form, converging into a singular point of devastating power. Dragon Prince, embracing the pinnacle of the Supreme Dragon God Palace, invoked the celestial dragon's ascendance. His aura expanded to colossal proportions, resembling a celestial dragon ascending to the heavens. The sheer magnitude of his presence eclipsed the battlefield, heralding an imminent cataclysm. The collision of Yang's convergence and celestial dragon's ascendance sent shockwaves that transcended the boundaries of the central region. The devastation reached unprecedented levels, shaking the very foundations of the celestial order. The celestial energies clashed, creating a spectacle that defied the comprehension of all witnessing entities. Amidst the chaos, Wang Jian and Dragon Prince, locked in a battle of cosmic proportions, gazed at each other with a mutual acknowledgement. As the celestial battlefield bore witness to the clash between Wang Jian and Dragon Prince, both overlords prepared to unleash their most potent attacks, drawing upon the unparalleled might of their respective immortal dominions. Wang Jian, his eyes gleaming with determination, initiated the fusion of his devil attribute powers, draconic body, and the sacred Yang physique within the confines of the true demonic god dominion. The amalgamation of these potent forces resulted in the birth of an unprecedented technique, the demonic celestial cataclysm. Wang Jian's form radiated an ominous glow as he channeled the essence of the abyss and the divine simultaneously. Devilish shadows intertwined with radiant golden energies, creating a surreal spectacle that defied the laws of the celestial realm. The air itself quivered with anticipation as the power within the true demonic god dominion reached a crescendo. Meanwhile, Dragon Prince, within the sanctum of the Supreme Dragon God Palace, summoned the pinnacle of draconic might. The Supreme Dragon's Apocalypse. The palace resonated with the echoes of ancient draconic roars, and the very fabric of reality quaked in response to the impending cataclysm. The celestial dragons, dormant within the Supreme Dragon God Palace, stirred with unprecedented vigor. Their ethereal forms intertwined, forming a colossal dragon silhouette that emanated an aura of unrestrained supremacy. The radiance of celestial dragon light reached its zenith as Dragon Prince harnessed the unrivaled power of his immortal dominion. The clash between demonic celestial cataclysm and Supreme Dragon's apocalypse unfolded with cataclysmic force. Wang Jian's attack, infused with the duality of devilish darkness and sacred radiance, surged forward with relentless intensity. Devilish shadows converged, creating a vortex of cosmic energy that sought to consume everything in its path. Dragon Prince's draconic onslaught, driven by the indomitable spirit of the celestial dragons, manifested as a torrent of luminous dragon light. The celestial dragons within the Supreme Dragon God Palace roared in unison, their collective power converging into a colossal beam of draconic radiance. The clash between the two attacks resulted in an explosion of cosmic energies that surpassed the boundaries of comprehension. The celestial battlefield quaked as shockwaves propagated in every direction, distorting the fabric of space itself. The skies were ablaze with the clash of devilish shadows and draconic radiance, creating an otherworldly panorama of destruction. Wang Jian and Dragon Prince, amidst the maelstrom of cosmic forces, stood resolute in their determination. The battle between their respective immortal dominions epitomized the zenith of power within the celestial realm. The very air resonated with the echoes of their clashes, and the celestial dragons within the Supreme Dragon God Palace roared in acknowledgement of the extraordinary spectacle. The demonic celestial cataclysm and the Supreme Dragon's apocalypse continued to escalate, each attack seeking to overpower the other in an unrelenting display of celestial might. The battlefield bore the scars of their clashes, and the remnants of immortal dominions quivered as the very essence of the celestial order hung in the balance. As the battle reached its pinnacle, Wang Jian and Dragon Prince, undeterred by the cataclysmic forces they unleashed, continued to push the boundaries of their power. As the celestial battlefield became a tapestry of destruction, Wang Jian and Dragon Prince continued their relentless clash, each attack resonating with cataclysmic force. Amidst the chaos, their banter revealed a shared realization: their battle could potentially endure through eternity. Dragon Prince, amidst the luminous onslaught of the Supreme Dragon's apocalypse, couldn't help but marvel at the seemingly boundless stamina of Wang Jian. He acknowledged that it was a rarity to encounter an opponent who, like himself, had gained an aspect of infinity. "You're not showing any signs of fatigue, Wang Jian. It's almost as if you've tapped into the very essence of infinity," Dragon Prince remarked, his draconic eyes narrowing with intrigue. Wang Jian, deftly evading the celestial onslaught, grinned in response. "Infinity has its allure, doesn't it? It seems we've stumbled upon a shared secret, one that allows us to dance on the precipice of everlasting battle." The realization dawned upon them: both possessed an infinite wellspring of power, enabling them to engage in an unending conflict that transcended the constraints of mortal limitations. Their attacks, fueled by the inexhaustible reservoirs within their respective immortal dominions, tore through the very fabric of reality. Dragon Prince, amidst the ceaseless roars of celestial dragons, contemplated Wang Jian's fortitude. The essence of eternity exuded from Wang Jian's being, and Dragon Prince couldn't help but wonder about the source of this profound power. "Your power is unsettling, Wang Jian. It's not just your strength, it's as if the cosmos itself flows within you," Dragon Prince observed, his voice resonating with a mix of curiosity and wariness. Wang Jian, his form engulfed in the shadows of the true demonic god dominion, chuckled. The cosmos, the abyss, and the divine, all entwined within this vessel. It appears the secrets of the universe have chosen me as their conduit. As the battle unfolded, Wang Jian and Dragon Prince continued their exchange, unraveling the mysteries embedded within their extraordinary abilities. Wang Jian, while orchestrating the demonic celestial cataclysm, took a moment to decipher the Dragon Prince's unparalleled adaptability. I've also unraveled your secret, Dragon Prince. It's not just your inexhaustible energy, it's your ability to synchronize your strength with the prowess of your adversary. The stronger the foe, the mightier you become, Wang Jian elucidated, his eyes gleaming with newfound understanding. Dragon Prince, within the luminous sanctuary of the Supreme Dragon God Palace, acknowledged Wang Jian's astuteness. You grasp the essence of my power. The Supreme Dragon God Dominion is not just a wellspring of energy, it's a conduit for infinite adaptation. It's an ever-flowing river of power, responding to the crescendo of battle. As their revelations unfolded, the celestial battlefield bore witness to the clash of titans, two beings whose powers defied the very concept of limits. The laws of the central region strained under the weight of their infinite might, creating an otherworldly spectacle that transcended the boundaries of mortal comprehension. The celestial battleground continued to reverberate with the echoes of Wang Jian and Dragon Prince's relentless clash, a perpetual dance on the edge of eternity. Amidst the cosmic chaos, Wang Jian, his senses attuned to the potential devastation their battle could unleash, muttered to himself. This perpetual struggle isn't serving any purpose. If this continues, the world itself might crumble, and that's not something I can afford. My wives, concubines, and all those who hold a place in my heart could be in harm's way, Wang Jian mused, his gaze fixed on the luminous spectacle of their conflict. Turning towards the Dragon Prince, he proposed a temporary truce. Dragon Prince, let's end this pointless skirmish for now. There's no victory in shattering the world we stand upon. We can resume our battle in 1,000 years, and the cosmos will bear witness to our clash once again. Surprisingly, the Dragon Prince nodded in agreement. He too recognized the futility of continuing a battle that could lead to the annihilation of their realms. The draconic eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, conveyed understanding. However, a mischievous grin curled on the Dragon Prince's draconic features as he added a condition to their temporary truce. Agreed, Wang Jian, but only under one condition. Allow me to unleash one last, mighty attack, a draconic nova burst. Its power is enough to obliterate a minor world. If you can endure this, our battle shall be put on hold. Find uptetevils on n/v/elben.co/m. Wang Jian, unfazed by the audacious proposal, nodded his consent. Very well, Dragon Prince. But in return, I'll unleash the holy draconic devil's blast, a parting salvo befitting our celestial duel. The Dragon Prince's draconic nova burst began to build up, drawing upon the infinite energies of the Supreme Dragon God Palace. The celestial dragons surrounding him roared in anticipation as the very fabric of reality trembled. As Dragon Prince's attack reached its climax, the heavens themselves seemed to bow before the impending cataclysm. In response, Wang Jian conjured the essence of his holy draconic devil's blast, a fusion of divine and devilish powers. The very air crackled with elemental forces as the energy within him surged. With a decisive motion, Dragon Prince unleashed the draconic nova burst, a torrent of draconic fury manifesting as a cosmic conflagration. The blast expanded, threatening to engulf the entire celestial expanse. In response, Wang Jian unleashed the holy draconic devil's blast, an ethereal maelstrom of holy, draconic, and devilish energies. Their respective attacks, monumental in scale, drew power from the very essence of their immortal dominions. The heavens trembled as the draconic nova burst and holy draconic devil's blast spiraled toward each other with cataclysmic intent. The collision manifested in a cosmic explosion, a convergence of energies that threatened to unravel the very threads of existence. The celestial battleground quaked as the forces unleashed by the Dragon Prince and Wang Jian intertwined in a cataclysmic dance. Reality itself seemed to shudder under the strain of their clash, and for a fleeting moment, the fate of the world hung in the balance. As the energies converged, the clash reached a zenith. An apocalyptic display that transcended mortal comprehension. And then, in an instant, the celestial cataclysm subsided. The battleground, scarred and transformed, bore witness to the aftermath of their cosmic collision. The Dragon Prince and Wang Jian, having unleashed their might, stood amidst the remnants of their cataclysmic clash, their ceaseless dance temporarily halted. Having brokered a temporary truce with the Dragon Prince, Wang Jian ventured into the remnants of the primordial Yang immortal dominion. The battleground bore the scars of their cosmic clash, a testament to the cataclysmic forces that had ravaged its celestial expanse. Within the devastated dominion, Wang Jian made his way toward the Heavenly Court's headquarters. The once majestic structures now stood as eerie silhouettes of their former glory. As he entered the heart of the Heavenly Court sanctum, Wang Jian summoned the spirits of the fallen, seeking answers to the enigma that shrouded their ambitions. Wisps of spiritual energy gathered around him, coalescing into ghostly figures of the departed. Ariad updated stirise at n/vel/bin.com. With an air of authority, Wang Jian addressed the spectral assembly. I seek answers. What drove the Heavenly Court to such audacious ambitions? One spirit, distinguished by an air of authority, stepped forward. Wang Jian, you seek the truth, and I shall provide it. The Supreme Immortal Genie, our leader, harbored a grand ambition, to absorb the world's essence and gather the origin powers of this world. The revelation echoed through the spectral chamber, unraveling the intricate web of the Heavenly Court's clandestine motives. The spirit continued, Genie believed that the majority of the world's essence was held by 5 entities in this world. The Dragon Prince, the World Tree, Jiangchen, Wang Hao, and, of course, you, Wang Jian. The spirits murmured among themselves, the gravity of their disclosure hanging in the spectral air. Wang Jian's eyes narrowed as he absorbed the weight of this newfound knowledge. Genie's plan was audacious. He intended to eliminate all 5 entities and absorb the world's essence from them. By integrating this immense power within himself, he sought to transcend his current state and become an upper realm being. The pinnacle of power, transcending the boundaries of this world, the spirit elucidated, the gravity of the revelation sinking in. Wang Jian, processing the information, questioned the spirit further. And for this lofty ambition, the Heavenly Court was willing to wage war against the Dragon Prince, the World Tree, Jiangchen, Wang Hao, and me? The spirit nodded solemnly. Genie believed that by eliminating the holders of the world's essence, he could ascend to the upper realm, becoming a force to be reckoned with. But in his arrogance, he underestimated the powers vested in the Dragon Prince and you, Wang Jian. The celestial clash that unfolded was the result of his miscalculations, leading to the demise of the Heavenly Court. Wang Jian absorbed the revelations, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. The Heavenly Court's audacious scheme, concealed beneath layers of secrecy, had ultimately crumbled in the face of the Dragon Prince and his own formidable might. With the revelation of the Heavenly Court's grand ambition still echoing in the spectral chamber, Wang Jian's next move was clear. He sought a means to track down Jiangchen and neutralize every remnant of his dispersed consciousness. If the Heavenly Court had prepared a method to target Jiangchen, Wang Jian intended to exploit it for his own purposes. Addressing the spirits before him, Wang Jian requested the artifact or ability that could aid him in locating the traces of Jiangchen's spirit across the vast expanse of the continent. The spirits, obedient in their spectral forms, guided Wang Jian to a peculiar compass, an otherworldly artifact that pulsed with a mysterious energy. As Wang Jian infused spiritual energy into the compass, a holographic map materialized above it, depicting the entire continent in intricate detail. The spirit explained the compass's function. The red dots scattered across the map represented the traces of Jiang Chen's spirit. Wang Jian's eyes narrowed as he assessed the intricate web of red dots on the map. So, this is how they intended to locate Jiang Chen, he mused, a wry smile playing on his lips. The spirit, lingering in the ethereal realm, explained the compass's functionality. Each red dot corresponds to a trace of Jiang Chen's spirit. Eliminate the traces, and the red dots shall vanish. When every dot is extinguished, it signifies the complete annihilation of his consciousness. Wang Jian, armed with the compass, nodded in understanding. With a determined focus, he allowed the spirits of the heavenly court to disperse back into the ethereal realm, their guidance no longer needed. As Wang Jian scrutinized the holographic map, thousands of red dots blinked across its surface, each one signifying a fragment of Jiang Chen's dispersed spirit. The vastness of the task ahead did not daunt him. Instead, it fueled his determination to erase every trace of Jiang Chen's existence. Setting his sights on the closest red dots, Wang Jian embarked on a journey, his every step resonating with purpose. The compass guided him unerringly, directing him toward the elusive remnants of Jiang Chen's spirit. On his quest to annihilate these scattered traces, Wang Jian traversed landscapes, braved treacherous terrains, and engaged in encounters that tested the very limits of his prowess. As he approached the first red dot, a confrontation ensued, a clash of forces that reverberated through the realms. The compass, a beacon in the sea of red dots, continued to guide Wang Jian. With each vanquished red dot, the holographic map witnessed the diminishing presence of Jiang Chen's spirit. The echoes of battle resounded across the continent, marking Wang Jian's relentless pursuit to erase the last vestiges of his formidable adversary. The red dots, once numerous, dwindled in number as Wang Jian's campaign unfolded. As Wang Jian relentlessly pursued the remnants of Jiang Chen's dispersed spirit, the eradication of these spiritual consciousnesses sent ripples through the ethereal fabric of the world. The echoes of each vanquished trace reverberated, echoing through the spiritual realm, drawing ever closer to Jiang Chen's main body. Jiang Chen, recognizing the imminent threat, strained to conceal himself within the intricate web of concealment arrays that surrounded his main body. Despite the potency of his concealment, a formidable fortress of mystical energies designed to ward off even the most perceptive adversaries, Wang Jian's relentless pursuit proved unyielding. The convergence of energies emanating from the eradicated spiritual traces acted like a beacon, cutting through the concealment arrays and revealing the concealed presence of Jiang Chen. It was a relentless pursuit, one where the predator could sense the elusive prey, closing in with unwavering determination. Wang Jian, guided by the mystical compass, pressed forward with determination, his senses attuned to the residual energies left in the wake of each eradicated trace. Jiang Chen, aware of the encroaching threat, attempted to adapt his concealment, weaving a more intricate tapestry of mystical energies to veil his presence. Yet, Wang Jian's mastery over the spiritual realm, honed through battles and encounters, surpassed the cunning artistry of concealment. The eradication of traces continued, creating a domino effect that inched ever closer to the core of Jiang Chen's existence. In the vast expanse of the western deserts, where the shifting sands whispered tales of forgotten epics, Jiang Chen found himself standing at the crossroads of desperation and audacity. The relentless pursuit of Wang Jian had left him with little recourse, his spiritual traces obliterated, and the predatory gaze drawing ever closer. Yet, amid the encroaching shadows of despair, a glimmer of hope emerged on the horizon, the mystical heaven vein. It was a newfound fawn of celestial energies, born from the remnants of the shattered central region's heaven vein. Though its potency paled in comparison, Jiang Chen recognized the potential it held. Assembling the final two immortal dominions under his command, the underground giant's divine dominion and the dwarven-powered immortal dominion, Jiang Chen orchestrated a symphony of energies. The heaven vein's essence intertwined with the celestial might of the immortal dominions, creating a resonating harmony that echoed through the western deserts. With unwavering determination, Jiang Chen harnessed this amalgamation of powers, channeling them into his minor world, the diabolical abyssal realm. The once formidable realm now pulsated with newfound strength, absorbing the very essence of laws from the immortal dominions and drawing power from the celestial font of the heaven vein. Confidence surged within Jiang Chen as he surveyed the transformed diabolical abyssal realm. A realm now capable of standing against the might of Wang Jian, a testament to the resilience of Jiang Chen's indomitable spirit. As the holographic map on the compass flickered with intensified brilliance, Wang Jian discerned a singular red dot amid the myriad. A beacon of heightened intensity that signaled Jiang Chen's location, a focal point that hinted at an imminent confrontation. Driven by an unyielding pursuit, Wang Jian ventured into the western deserts. The golden hues of the sand dunes bore witness to the convergence of destiny, a clash between two forces, each fueled by their unique reservoirs of power. For Jiang Chen, it was a moment of reckoning, a gamble on the potency of the enhanced diabolical abyssal realm against the formidable might of Wang Jian. The stage was set, the curtain drawn for a showdown in the enigmatic tapestry of the western deserts. As the sun scorched the western deserts, a battle of epic proportions unfolded, echoing across the vastness of the land. Jiang Chen, empowered by the confluence of his diabolical abyssal realm and the heaven vein, stood ready to confront Wang Jian, a warrior of unparalleled might. The air crackled with tension as Jiang Chen summoned the essence of the vermilion bird, its fiery aura engulfing him in a dance of flames. The 9 heavenly lightning sword in his grasp hummed with raw power, lightning arcing across its blade in a display of celestial fury. The demonic bloodline energy of the heavenly Azura Devil clan exuded a chilling, malevolent aura, while a subtle draconic aura, born of a devil draconic bloodline, pulsated around him. The pure ice essence of the frost giant emanated from his being, casting an icy breath across the sands, and the law of annihilation pulsed with a dark, ominous resonance. Wang Jian, unfazed, stood his ground, his demonic energy swirling around him like a tempest. His draconic body, a testament to his strength, radiated an intimidating presence, and the power of his sacred young physique shone brightly, a stark contrast to the dark energies that Jiang Chen wielded. The first clash was a maelstrom of energies, as Wang Jian unleashed the demonic whirlwind slash, a vortex of dark energy that collided with Jiang Chen's vermilion bird flame vortex. The desert sands were uplifted in the turmoil, creating a spectacle of fire and shadow. Jiang Chen, not to be outdone, countered with the Azura's bloodline fury, a wave of dark, demonic energy that sought to engulf Wang Jian. But the latter, with the agility of his draconic body, evaded effortlessly and responded with the dragon's roar thunderclap, a sonic boom that reverberated across the desert, momentarily stunning Jiang Chen. Taking advantage of the opening, Wang Jian executed the Yang Burst Spear, a concentrated beam of pure Yang energy that pierced through the air towards Jiang Chen. However, Jiang Chen summoned the Ice Essence Barrier, a wall of frost that absorbed the impact, dispersing the energy into icy shards. The battle intensified as Jiang Chen brandished the 9 heavenly lightning sword, unleashing the lightning dragon spiral, a serpentine bolt of electric fury that crackled towards Wang Jian. Wang Jian, in response, activated the demonic dragon's shield, an impenetrable barrier of draconic energy that deflected the lightning strike. Amidst the to and fro of their relentless assault, Wang Jian observed the subtle fluctuations in Jiang Chen's energy. He realized that Jiang Chen's power was being continuously replenished by the heaven vein, a source that seemed inexhaustible. Mocking laughter escaped Wang Jian's lips as he taunted Jiang Chen, "You draw strength from the heaven vein itself, yet you are still no match for my own power." Spurred by the challenge, Jiang Chen unleashed the abyssal annihilation wave, a destructive force that warped the very air it passed through. Wang Jian, however, was unfazed. With a burst of his sacred Yang explosion, he dissipated the wave, his energy radiating with increased ferocity. The battle escalated as Wang Jian tapped deeper into his reservoirs of power. His demonic energy surged, intertwining with his draconic essence to form the devastating demon dragon vortex, a swirling mass of draconic and demonic energies that threatened to consume everything in its path. Jiang Chen, sensing the shift in the tide, channeled the frost giant's breath, a chilling blizzard that sought to freeze the vortex in its tracks. But Wang Jian's power was overwhelming. The blizzard dissipated under the sheer force of the vortex. With each exchange, it became increasingly evident that Wang Jian was dominating the battle. His attacks grew more ferocious, his movements more fluid. The demonic dragon's inferno, a conflagration of demonic fire, raged across the battlefield, met by Jiang Chen's lightning frost eruption, an explosive blend of ice and lightning. However, the disparity in their powers was clear. Wang Jian's relentless assault left Jiang Chen struggling to keep up. The Heaven Veins energy, though formidable, could not compensate for the gap in their innate abilities. As the battle raged on, the western deserts became a canvas of destruction, testament to the clash of two titans. Wang Jian, in his unbridled might, stood as a beacon of indomitable power, while Jiang Chen, though valiant, found himself outmatched by the sheer force of Wang Jian's strength. In the heart of the desert, under the scorching sun, the battle reached its zenith. Wang Jian, with a final burst of his sacred young celestial strike, a radiant explosion of pure young energy, overwhelmed Jiang Chen's defenses. As the dust settled from the initial onslaught, Jiang Chen's form flickered with the vibrant vermilion flames, their restorative power enveloping him. The diabolical abyssal realm, a bastion of his strength, reacted instinctively, its healing energies coursing through his body. Within moments, Jiang Chen stood revitalized as flames flickered around him. Wang Jian, observing this miraculous recovery, couldn't help but express a hint of surprise. The diabolical abyssal realm's ability to heal its master was beyond his expectations. He realized that to defeat Jiang Chen, he would have to overwhelm the realm itself. Reinvigorated, Jiang Chen launched into a ferocious barrage of attacks. The vermilion bird-scorching sunstrike, a blinding burst of flame, seared through the air towards Wang Jian, who countered with the demonic shadow step, a maneuver that blurred his form, allowing him to evade and counterattack with the dragon's wrath comet, a devastating strike imbued with the full might of his draconic body. But Jiang Chen was relentless. He unleashed the Azura's nightmare torrent, a deluge of dark energy that threatened to engulf Wang Jian. Unfazed, Wang Jian responded with the celestial yang barrier, a radiant shield that absorbed and dissipated the dark torrent. As the battle raged on, Wang Jian's understanding of the diabolical abyssal realm deepened. With each strike, he began to rewrite its very laws, his attacks infused with the power to disrupt the realm's essence. The yang overturning blast, a concentrated beam of pure yang energy, struck Jiang Chen, and to the latter's horror, he felt the connection to his realm waver. Jiang Chen attempted to rally, calling forth the frost giant's arctic maelstrom, a whirlwind of icy fury. Wang Jian, however, was ready. With the demonic dragon's inferno surge, he overpowered the maelstrom, his flames rewriting the very fabric of the diabolical abyssal realm. As realization dawned on Jiang Chen, Wang Jian seized the moment. With a commanding gesture, he drew upon the true demonic god dominion within him, extending its reach towards the diabolical abyssal realm. The realm, recognizing a new master, began to resonate with Wang Jian's energy. Jiang Chen watched in disbelief as the diabolical abyssal realm, his bastion of power, was absorbed into Wang Jian. The realm melded with the true demonic god dominion, transforming it into the true diabolical abyssal god dominion, a convergence of demonic, draconic, and abyssal energies. Now wielding this newfound power, Wang Jian's presence on the battlefield became even more formidable. He unleashed the abyssal dragon's cataclysm, a maelstrom of draconic and abyssal energies that tore through the air towards Jiang Chen. Caught off guard, Jiang Chen could only muster the 9 heavenly lightning shield, a barrier of electric fury. But it was no match for Wang Jian's attack. The cataclysm shattered the shield, striking Jiang Chen with unrelenting force. The western deserts echoed with the clash of these titanic forces, as Wang Jian, now empowered by the true diabolical abyssal god dominion, pressed his advantage. Jiang Chen, bereft of his realm's support, found himself outmatched and overwhelmed. Explore Ta Ti stories at no/l/bin.cm. In a final, desperate attempt, Jiang Qin summoned the Annihilation Sphere, a concentrated orb of destructive energy. But Wang Jian, with a wave of his hand, unleashed the Young Annihilation Wave, a radiant blast that neutralized the sphere and struck Jiang Qin with decisive force. As Jiang Qin fell, defeated and broken, the sands of the western deserts bore witness to the end of an epic battle. As Wang Jian approached the defeated Jiang Qin, his eyes held a glint of cold amusement. Towering over his fallen adversary, he couldn't help but mock the once mighty figure before him. Jiang Qin, did you really think you could challenge the northern states and not face retribution? Your arrogance sealed your fate the moment you crossed my faction. Jiang Qin, lying broken and defeated, his ambitions crushed, looked up at Wang Jian with a mix of resentment and awe. I never imagined, he coughed, the pain evident in his voice, that you could become so powerful to rewrite the laws of the world. Wang Jian, however, showed no interest in indulging his vanquished foe's wonderment. There was no room for mercy or philosophical musings in the harsh realities of their world. Your time is over, Jiang Qin, he declared, his voice resonating with the finality of judgment. Without another word, Wang Jian raised his hand, channeling the immense power of the true diabolical abyssal god Dominion. In a swift, decisive movement, he unleashed a surge of energy, a brilliant and deadly manifestation of his will. Jiang Qin's eyes widened in realization and fear, but there was no escape. The energy struck him with unerring precision, and in that instant, the once mighty Jiang Qin was no more. His spirit disintegrated under the overwhelming force, leaving nothing but a fading echo of his existence. Right now, Jiang Qin's soulless corpse laid on the battlefield. But Wang Jian wasn't done with his corpse. There was one last thing to do with it, which was to devour Jiang Qin's bloodline. Activating his devil-devouring ability, Wang Jian focused on Jiang Qin's heavenly Azura devil bloodline, a prestigious lineage from one of the 4 great devil clans, renowned for its formidable power. This potent bloodline was now his for the taking. As he initiated the absorption, an incredible fusion began. Jiang Qin's bloodline melded with Wang Jian's own Blue Moon Eclipse devil bloodline and the Oceanic Tempest Storm devil bloodline. The fusion, with the Blue Moon Eclipse devil bloodline at its core, was a symphony of dark and powerful energies intertwining to create something even more formidable. But Wang Jian's conquest of Jiang Qin's powers did not stop there. He absorbed the flame essence of the vermilion bird, swirling with fiery intensity, the ice essence of the frost giant, exuding a chilling aura, the 9 heavenly lightning sword, crackling with the raw power of storms, the demonic dragon's powerful body that also greatly enhanced Wang Jian's physique, and the law of annihilation, pulsing with a destructive resonance. Each of these abilities, once Jiang Qin's pride, were now integrated into Wang Jian's already formidable arsenal. Wang Jian stood, feeling the surge of new powers coursing through him. He could sense the profound changes within himself, the amalgamation of powers not just enhancing his strength but transforming him into something more, something beyond the limits of what he once was. With a final glance at the remains of his foe, Wang Jian turned away, his mind already focused on the horizons ahead. After the monumental absorption of Jiang Qin's formidable abilities, Wang Jian, now brimming with newfound powers, left the scorched sands of the western deserts. His journey back to the northern region was one filled with contemplation and a sense of profound change. He had come out of this confrontation not just victorious but transformed, both in power and in status. The tales of Wang Jian's exploits had spread like wildfire across the continent. His duel against Wang Hao, the earth-shattering battle with the Dragon Prince, and now the vanquishing of the ancient devil Jiang Qin, these feats had etched his name in the annals of history as the strongest human alive. His prestige soared to unprecedented heights, eclipsing even the once dominant heavenly court. The court's power had lain in the collective might of numerous experts, but Wang Jian? He was an entity of immense power all on his own. In the bustling marketplaces, in the quiet confines of sacred temples, and in the shadowy corners of taverns, people whispered his name with a mix of awe and reverence. A new title emerged from the murmurs and tales of his deeds, the Human God Emperor. This title wasn't just a testament to his strength, it was an acknowledgement of his dominion over all of humanity, a ruler supreme in might and honor. But Wang Jian's tale took an unexpected twist when his identity as a half-devil became known. This revelation sent shockwaves throughout the land, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to his already legendary status. A new title was bestowed upon him, one that reflected this duality in his lineage, the Devil God Emperor. It was a title that resonated with a deeper, more primal awe, acknowledging not only his unparalleled strength but also the fearsome heritage that ran through his veins. As Wang Jian journeyed back, his mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. He contemplated his dual titles and what they signified. The Human God Emperor, a symbol of unrivaled power and leadership among humans, the Devil God Emperor, an acknowledgement of the dark, potent bloodline that gave him an edge over his adversaries. Despite these grand titles, Wang Jian remained focused on his path, undeterred by the weight of expectations and the whispers of fame. He knew that titles were but fleeting, and true power lay in one's actions and choices. Upon reaching the northern region, the sight that greeted him was one of celebration and respect. Banners bearing his name flew high, and the people greeted him with cheers and deep bows. As Wang Jian set foot back in the northern states, the air buzzed with an electric sense of anticipation. The news of his return spread rapidly, and it wasn't long before a cavalcade of royal carriages and entourages from various corners of the empire made their way towards his location. Leading this extraordinary procession were his wives, each a remarkable figure in her own right. Empress Su Xian, with her dignified aura and regal bearing, Second Queen Fan Shuang, whose wisdom and poise were the talk of the empire, Third Queen Chen Yan, known for her exceptional martial prowess, Fourth Queen Hong Meilin, a master of diplomacy and grace, Fifth Queen Stella, whose magical abilities were as enchanting as her beauty, and Sixth Queen Jean Meixiang, a strategist par excellence. LL new rise at N0V/LBI/.cm. But the spectacle didn't end there. The elf queen Alindra, with her ethereal charm, and eldest elf princess Selena, a vision of otherworldly beauty, joined the procession. Accompanying them was Archangel Seraphina, a divine presence from the angel race, her wings shimmering in the sunlight. As they converged upon Wang Jian, their expressions were a mix of relief, joy, and profound admiration. They rushed towards him, their steps quickening as they closed the distance. In a moment filled with emotion, they embraced him, their collective relief at his safe return palpable in the air. Wang Jian, surrounded by this bevy of stunning and powerful women, couldn't help but smile. His gaze softened as he looked at each of them, acknowledging their worries and their love. It was a rare moment of vulnerability for the mighty Human God Emperor. Taking a deep breath, he began to recount his recent adventures. His voice was filled with a blend of excitement and solemnity as he spoke of his epic duel with the Dragon Prince. He described how the battle had ended in a draw and revealed the terms of their bet, a rematch 1,000 years later. His wives listened intently, their eyes reflecting a mix of awe and concern. They knew the weight of the challenge he faced. But in their hearts, there was also a sense of pride. They were well aware that if there was anyone who could rise to such a challenge, it was Wang Jian. The gathering soon turned into a celebration of his return, each of them sharing moments of their own during his absence, but the underlying current was clear. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Wang Jian led his entourage of wives, concubines, and mistresses to a grand chamber within the royal palace of Verzen Empire. This chamber, known for its opulent decor and spacious elegance, was the perfect setting for what was to be a night of indulgence and celebration. The chamber was adorned with luxurious tapestries depicting legends of old, the ceilings were high and painted with intricate frescoes, and the floor was covered in plush carpets that felt like walking on clouds. The air was perfumed with a blend of exotic fragrances, creating an ambience of romance and mystique. Wang Jian, ever the confident emperor, exuded a charisma that was almost palpable. His recent victories and the knowledge that he had a millennium to surpass the Dragon Prince imbued him with a relaxed yet confident air. He was in no rush, no hurry. He had time, and he intended to make the most of it, starting with this very night. Surrounded by his stunning consorts, each a beauty that could cause kingdoms to fall, Wang Jian reveled in their attention. Laughter and playful banter filled the chamber as they celebrated his return and achievements. The women vied for his attention, each showcasing her unique charm and wit, much to his delight. As the evening progressed, the atmosphere grew more intimate. The lamps cast a soft, golden glow, and the music, played by unseen musicians, became sultrier. Wang Jian's eyes sparkled with a mix of affection and desire as he admired the circle of enchanting women around him. Their beauty was unparalleled, each carrying a unique allure that made his heart race. The night was long, and he intended to savor every moment, every whisper of silk, every soft giggle, and every shared glance. His wives, concubines, and mistresses, each a master in the art of love and seduction, engaged in this dance of desire with equal fervor. They understood the depths of Wang Jian's passion and met it with their own, creating a symphony of emotions that resonated through the chamber. As the night deepened, the boundaries between them blurred, merging into a harmonious blend of laughter, conversation, and tender moments. They shared stories, teased each other, and basked in the warmth of their shared affection for Wang Jian. In this chamber, time seemed to stand still. The worries of the empire, the challenges ahead, all faded into the background, overshadowed by the joy and love that filled the room. For Wang Jian, this was more than just a night of physical pleasure, it was a celebration of life, of victory, and of the deep bonds he shared with his beloved. And so, the night continued, a testament to Wang Jian's insatiable desire and the enduring beauty of his partners. In the heart of the royal palace of Verzhen Empire, amidst laughter and love, the human god emperor found his bliss. With the dawn came the end of a night filled with love and laughter, marking the beginning of a new era under Wang Jian's rule. His empire, vast and diverse, was a melting pot of races and cultures, each contributing to the grand tapestry of his reign. In the northern states, the heartland of his empire, Wang Jian established a harmonious coexistence between the humans of Verzhen Empire, the majestic beast race, the ethereal elven race, and the divine angel race. This region, brimming with a mix of architectural marvels and natural wonders, became a beacon of multicultural unity and strength. The eastern seas, with their endless horizons and deep mysteries, were now home to the sea monsters and the industrious dwarven race. The dwarves, with their unparalleled skills in smithing and engineering, built grand underwater cities and fortresses, which the sea monsters guarded fiercely, creating an unbreakable alliance of steel and scale. To the west, the vast and unforgiving western deserts became the dominion of the towering giant race and the fierce barbarian race. Their strength and resilience turned the harsh, sandy dunes into a land of opportunity and challenge, attracting adventurers and traders from far and wide. The southern region, with its lush forests and mystical landscapes, was the territory of Wang Jian's everlasting mystical empire. Here, humans and various devil clans lived in a delicate balance of power, their societies a blend of human ingenuity and devilish charisma. This colossal faction, under Wang Jian's astute leadership, was more than a mere amalgamation of races and lands, it was a testament to his vision of a unified world where diversity was not just accepted but celebrated. Find PDTES on n/vln.cm. However, not all of the continent was under Wang Jian's influence. The central region, a land of ancient mysteries and untold power, remained the stronghold of the formidable Draconic clan and the ancient beast race. These proud and ancient races, content with their dominion, did not seek to expand their territories, instead focusing on preserving their rich heritage and powerful traditions. Wang Jian respected their choice, understanding the importance of balance in this vast world. His empire, already sprawling and diverse, was a powerhouse of cultural and military might, and he was keen on maintaining peaceful relations with all races. As the days turned to weeks and months, Wang Jian found himself not just ruling but also learning and appreciating the myriad ways of life that flourished under his reign. From the soaring melodies of the elven bards to the hearty laughter of the dwarven blacksmiths, from the silent wisdom of the sea monsters to the boisterous tales of the barbarians, each day brought new insights and joys. His rule was marked by festivals and celebrations, where representatives of all races would come together, sharing their traditions and customs, creating a vibrant mosaic of unity and diversity. The air was often filled with the sounds of music, the aroma of exotic cuisines, and the sight of colorful attire representing various cultures. Wang Jian, now not just a conqueror but a unifier, a bridge between worlds, sat on his throne, a contented smile on his face. Soon enough years began to pass by in the blink of an eye. In the opulent corridors of the royal palace, where grandeur met the sound of youthful exuberance, a new era dawned in Wang Jian's realm. From the dignified Empress Su Xian to the spirited sixth queen Jin Meixiang, each wife presented Wang Jian with a legacy embodied in their children, each a future sovereign of their unique domain. The palace brimmed with life as these heirs, each a blend of their mother's grace and their father's strength, embarked on their destined paths under Wang Jian's nurturing guidance. Wang Xianlong, the firstborn of Empress Su Xian and Wang Jian, exemplified leadership and intellect. Entrusted with the vast everlasting mystical empire in the southern region, he governed with a blend of shrewd intelligence and boundless compassion, securing both the prosperity and the hearts of his people. Wang Jinyu, born to second queen Fin Shuiying, inherited a fusion of his mother's cunning and his father's formidable might. As the ruler of the Devil clans, Jinyu demonstrated unparalleled strategic acumen, uniting diverse factions under a formidable and singular vision. From third queen Qinyan came Wang Liwei, a harmonious blend of elegance and insight. Entrusted with the expansive Verzen Empire and the Dwarven race, Liwei's diplomatic prowess and understanding of governance forged an era of innovation and unity between humans and dwarves. Wang Yueying, the offspring of fourth Queen Heng Meilin, embodied the serenity of angels and the resilience of mortals. As the guardian of the angel race, Yueying shone brightly as a symbol of hope and unity, inspiring her charges to reach new pinnacles of glory. Born to fifth Queen Stella was Wang Haoyu, who carried the essence of the sea's depths and the wild heart of beasts. As the ruler of the sea monsters and beast races, Haoyu led with a rare amalgamation of brute strength and deep empathy, ensuring harmony and strength among his diverse subjects. Finally, from sixth Queen Jin Meixiang came Wang Tianfeng, was a born warrior with extremely high raw talent. Seeing his talents, Wang Jian made him the leader of the barbarian and giant races. Taking the reins of the barbarian and giant races, Tianfeng forged a realm where raw strength and deep respect coexisted in harmony. The children born to Wang Jian's concubines were also woven into this grand tapestry, each assigned a role of significance to support the empire. These children, varied in their skills and aspirations, backed their half-siblings, upholding the stability and prosperity of Wang Jian's domain. Wang Jian, with pride and affection, oversaw this intricate network of family and influence. Each child, like a star in the grand constellation of his legacy, shone brightly, their brilliance interlacing to illuminate the path forward. Guided by their father, these young sovereigns learned to rule with fairness and might, to lead with wisdom and bravery, and to love with kindness and magnanimity. Together, they stood as the pillars of Wang Jian's vast empire, embodying his dream of a world united in peace and strength. Day by day, the empire flourished, its people rejoiced, and its future glowed ever brighter. The legacy of Wang Jian, the human god emperor, the devil god emperor, lived vibrantly through his children, each a custodian of his dream, each a beacon of hope for a world flourishing under their collective radiance. As the wheel of time spun its relentless course, hundreds of years cascaded like a river through the annals of history. Wang Jian, in a move as unexpected as a comet streaking across the night sky, decided to retreat from the world he had so meticulously built. With his entourage of wives, concubines, and mistresses, he ventured into the mystical realms of the elven forest, seeking a life of tranquility and detachment. It was as if the great emperor, having sculpted an era, chose to step back and watch it from afar, like an artist admiring a finished masterpiece. This sudden shift to a life of seclusion, nestled in the lush embrace of the elven forest, was more than just a retreat, it was a test. Wang Jian cut the cords of direct influence over his empire, entrusting the colossal responsibility to his children. His disappearance, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, rippled through the empire, presenting challenges to his progeny. Yet, these were not fledglings but seasoned rulers, sculpted by time and experience, who rose to meet these challenges with the grace and might befitting their lineage. Wang Jian's parting edict, a single yet potent directive, was clear: do not initiate conflict with the draconic clan and the ancient beast race of the central region. This command, echoing the wisdom of a ruler who sought balance and harmony, was a guiding star for his children, a reminder of their father's overarching vision for a world where peace prevailed over war. In the heart of the elven forest, life for Wang Jian was a blend of serene joy and purposeful endeavor. Days and nights unfurled in a tapestry of bliss, as he indulged in the company of his beloved companions. The forest, with its ancient trees whispering age-old secrets and its streams singing melodies of the earth, was a haven of love and laughter. Wang Jian, amidst this sylvan paradise, shared moments of joy and love, creating memories that shimmered like jewels in the crown of time. But Wang Jian's retreat was not solely for leisure. Beneath the canopy of ancient trees and the watchful eyes of elven sentinels, he embarked on a monumental task: the healing of the World Tree. This majestic entity, wounded by the unforgiving claws of time and conflict, stood as a beacon of life and magic. Wang Jian, channeling his formidable powers, devoted himself to this sacred mission. The task was Herculean. The World Tree's injuries were deep, its pain etched into the very essence of its being. Day after day, Wang Jian poured his energy into the World Tree, his powers intertwining with its ancient magic. The process was slow, as if he were knitting the fabric of life itself, mending tears wrought by eons. His dedication was unwavering, a testament to his commitment to heal not just a tree, but the heart of the world itself. As Wang Jian worked tirelessly, the World Tree began to show signs of recovery. Its leaves, once wilted, started to regain their lush green hue. Its bark, scarred and cracked, began to smooth over, as if the tree was breathing anew. As the years unfurled like a scroll of endless tales, Wang Jian's realm, a tapestry woven from dreams and power, thrived under the stewardship of his children. Nestled in the enchanting forest of the elves, Wang Jian, alongside his wives, concubines, and mistresses, lived a life of serene seclusion, a sharp contrast to the vibrant pulse of his empire. Meanwhile, his children, each a ruler in their own right, had not only matured in age but in wisdom and strength. Their cultivation had soared to the lofty heights of the Saint Realm, bestowing upon them not just formidable power but an almost ethereal vitality. Their rule was marked by a blend of their father's teachings and their unique perspectives, ensuring the empire's continued prosperity and stability. As the wheel of time turned, these rulers started their own families, adding new branches to the already extensive Wang family tree. The arrival of Wang Jian's grandchildren brought a fresh wave of joy and hope. These young ones, born into a world shaped by their forebears, were a blend of the old and the new, a bridge between the past and the future. Wang Jian, taking time away from his tranquil life, often interacted with these grandchildren, their laughter and energy adding a sparkle to his eyes. With each visit, each story shared under the ancient trees of the forest, he imparted wisdom, love, and a sense of wonder about the world they were to inherit. During one such gathering, Wang Jian sat surrounded by his grandchildren, each eager to hear tales of the past and gain insights into the future. "Grandpa Jian, tell us again about the time you battled the Dragon Prince," exclaimed little Wang Ming, his eyes wide with excitement. Wang Jian chuckled, his eyes twinkling with mirth. "Ah, that was a battle for the ages. We fought until we completely destroyed the entire central region. In fact, the other regions of the continents were also affected. If not for the strength of your grandmothers, the northern region might also have been destroyed." Grandpa, will I be strong like you one day? Asked Wang Li, her voice tinged with awe and aspiration. You will, my dear. Don't forget that you possess my bloodline, which will allow you to reach the peak of this world as long as you work hard, Wang Jian replied, ruffling her hair affectionately. As he interacted with them, Wang Jian kept a watchful eye on the state of his empire through his unique means. He saw how each of his children had not only maintained the stability of their respective realms but also nurtured them to new heights. The everlasting mystical empire flourished under the sagacious rule of Wang Xian, the devil clans united and thrived with Wang Feng at the helm, the Verzen Empire and dwarven race prospered under the wise governance of Wang Yu, and so on. Each child had carved their path, yet they all shared a common thread, the teachings and values instilled by their father. Wang Jian felt a swell of pride in his heart. They have truly grown beyond my expectations, Wang Jian mused aloud, a smile of satisfaction gracing his lips. Su Xian, a timeless beauty with eyes full of love, leaned closer. They are our legacy, Jian. You've given them the roots of responsibility and the wings of freedom. They are soaring because of you. As the sun set on another day in the enchanting forest, Wang Jian looked upon his family, his wives, his children, and now his grandchildren, and felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The wheel of time continued its relentless spin, ushering in an era where Wang Jian's grandchildren, now at the helm of their respective factions, navigated the complex tapestry of leadership and power. Meanwhile, Wang Jian's children, having passed the torch to the new generation, retreated into the depths of seclusion, immersing themselves in the profound mysteries of the laws of the world, and seeking the elusive empyrean energy. Wang Jian, ever the watchful patriarch, found himself stepping out of his tranquil haven in the enchanting forest more frequently than before. His visits were not just familial, they were necessitated by the need to guide and assist his grandchildren, who, despite their best efforts, struggled to match the adept governance of their parents. One bright afternoon, as Wang Jian materialized in the grand hall of the everlasting mystical empire, he was greeted by his grandson, Wang Jin, who now ruled over this vast realm. Grandfather, your guidance is like a beacon in the dark for us, Wang Jin said, bowing respectfully. Wang Jian smiled, patting him on the shoulder. Tell me, Jin, what troubles you today? It's the trade negotiations with the sea monsters managed by cousin Huan, Wang Jin replied, his brow furrowed. I'm trying to find a balance, but it's not easy. All test NOVL on novelben/.cm. Wang Jian nodded, his eyes reflecting wisdom. Negotiation is an art, Jin. You must learn to listen as much as you speak. Remember, a good leader is not just a commander but a mediator. As he traveled across the various realms, imparting advice and wisdom, Wang Jian couldn't help but notice the stark difference in the cultivation levels of his grandchildren. While a few had reached the esteemed saint realm, many lingered in the emperor realm, their potential seemingly capped. During a visit to the realm governed by his granddaughter, Wang Li, he broached the subject. Li, your progress in cultivation is commendable, but I sense a plateau. What seems to be the hindrance? Wang Li sighed, a mix of frustration and resolve in her eyes. Grandfather, I strive each day, but it feels like I'm hitting a wall. I can't seem to break through. Wang Jian contemplated, then spoke. Cultivation is not just about hard work, it's about understanding oneself and the natural order. Sometimes, we need to step back to leap forward. His words were a mixture of comfort and challenge, spurring his grandchildren to look beyond their current limitations. As the years rolled on, the family tree expanded with the arrival of great-grandchildren, bringing new joy and hope to Wang Jian's heart. Their laughter and innocence were a balm to his soul, reminding him of the cycle of life and the continuous flow of time. Despite the challenges, Wang Jian's presence and guidance were like a lighthouse in a stormy sea for his descendants. His wisdom, gained from centuries of experience, was invaluable in steering the new generation through the turbulent waters of leadership and cultivation. Yet, deep in his heart, Wang Jian knew that the journey each of his descendants embarked on was their own. He could guide, advise, and love them, but the path they carved, the heights they reached, and the legacy they would leave behind were theirs to shape. As the century unfurled its tapestry of time, the grand empire that Wang Jian had so meticulously built and nurtured began to tremble under the weight of internal strife. The once harmonious transition of power from one generation to the next now turned into a simmering cauldron of ambition and conflict. Wang Jian's great-grandchildren, fiery and ambitious, bristled under the prolonged rule of their parents. They hungered for the reins of power, eager to etch their own mark on the empire's legacy. This yearning for authority sparked tensions, as the current rulers, Wang Jian's grandchildren, were reluctant to step aside. In the opulent chambers of the Verzhen Empire, Wang Fan, a great-grandson of Wang Jian, confronted his father, Wang Jin. "Father, the time has come for new blood to lead. We have ideas, visions that can propel our empire to greater heights." Wang Fan argued passionately. Wang Jin, weathered by years of rulership, responded with a mix of wisdom and weariness. "Son, leadership is not just about new ideas. It's about experience and understanding the weight of the crown." This scene was replicated across the realms, each marked by a tussle between the eagerness of youth and the caution of experience. But what started as family disagreements soon spiraled into court intrigues as opportunistic courtiers and external factions began to exploit these rifts. The empire, once united under the banner of Wang Jian's lineage, fractured into smaller factions. These new entities were often led by individuals outside the Wang bloodline, who seized the moment to ascend to power amidst the chaos. From his secluded haven, Wang Jian watched these developments with a heavy heart. His love for his descendants was as deep as the ocean, yet he knew that intervening in these conflicts would be akin to stemming a tidal wave with his bare hands. The natural order of rise and fall, the ebb and flow of dynasties, was a law even he could not circumvent. In a rare moment of introspection, Wang Jian mused to his closest confidant, Su Xian, "The empire I built was a dream made reality, but even the most splendid dream must end when dawn breaks." Su Xian, ever the pillar of strength, replied softly, "Your legacy, my love, is not just in the empire but in the values and strength you've instilled in our descendants. They will find their way." Wang Jian nodded, a bittersweet smile gracing his lips. He knew his descendants were capable and resilient. Their paths might diverge from his, their destinies might take them far from the empire he envisioned, but they carried within them the fire of the Wang bloodline, a fire that would guide them through the darkest nights. As the century drew to a close, Wang Jian remained a silent observer, a guardian whose time had passed, watching as a new era unfolded, an era that would be shaped by the choices, triumphs, and trials of his descendants. In the heart of the central region, where the sky kissed the mountaintops and ancient spirits whispered in the winds, Wang Jian journeyed to the abode of the Dragon Prince, the formidable leader of the Draconic clan and the ancient beast race. The air was thick with the aura of power, and the ground seemed to hum with the tales of eons past. Upon Wang Jian's arrival, the members of the Draconic clan watched in silent awe. Their gazes held no contempt, only a deep, unspoken respect. They knew well the tales of this human, the only one who could stand toe-to-toe with their revered Dragon Prince. To belittle Wang Jian would be to belittle their own leader, an unthinkable act. Inside the grand hall, adorned with jade carvings and golden motifs that told the history of their proud race, Wang Jian and the Dragon Prince sat across from each other. Despite their rivalry for the title of the strongest warrior, there was a mutual respect that transcended their competitive spirits. CHCK for EUS to rise on no/v/l/bin.c0m. The Dragon Prince, a majestic figure with scales shimmering like the night sky, poured a radiant, emerald liquid into two crystalline cups. "To our wondrous spar," he toasted, raising his cup towards Wang Jian. Wang Jian smiled and clinked his cup with the Dragon Prince's. "To the bonds that are forged in the fires of rivalry," he replied, savoring the drink that tasted like liquid stars. As they drank, the Dragon Prince's gaze lingered on Wang Jian, a mix of amusement and curiosity dancing in his eyes. "400 years, and your descendants have already let the reins slip. I didn't expect that, he said, his voice devoid of mockery, merely stating an observation. Wang Jian, unfazed, replied calmly, "It's the cycle of life, my friend. Hard times create strong men create good times raise weak men, and weak men bring about hard times, which in turn forge strong men. The cycle is endless. You and I are but products of such times." The dragon prince chuckled, an amused grin playing on his lips. "Indeed, we are. But tell me, what about our battle, the one scheduled for 6 centuries from now? Have you thought about it?" Wang Jian's expression turned contemplative. "I may not be in this realm in 600 years, he said, his voice carrying a hint of distant dreams. The dragon prince's eyes widened in surprise. "You're ascending to the upper realm?" he asked, his voice tinged with curiosity and a hint of something else, something unspoken. Wang Jian nodded. "Yes, my preparations are nearly complete. The time for me to explore new horizons is approaching." A sly smile crept onto the dragon prince's face. "Then, I shall see you in the upper world," he said, his tone laced with a mysterious confidence. Wang Jian raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the statement. "You plan to ascend as well?" The dragon prince's smile turned thinner, yet his eyes sparkled with an enigmatic light. "Let's just say, there are plans within plans, and the dance of fate is far more intricate than we can fathom." Wang Jian leaned back, absorbing the dragon prince's words. The air between them was filled with a sense of unspoken understanding and shared anticipation of the adventures that lay ahead, in realms beyond their current understanding. Their conversation meandered through various topics, from the nuances of power to the whispers of ancient prophecies. Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the land, but inside the hall, time seemed to stand still, suspended in the camaraderie of 2 unparalleled warriors. As the night deepened, Wang Jian rose to leave, the weight of upcoming journeys and farewells heavy in his heart. "Until we meet again, in this world or another," he said, extending his hand. The dragon prince grasped Wang Jian's hand firmly. "Until then, I bless you with the strength of dragons," he replied, his voice echoing with the power of eons. With a final nod, Wang Jian turned and walked out of the hall, his silhouette merging with the starlit sky. Behind him, the dragon prince watched, his eyes gleaming with the promise of future encounters, in realms yet to be explored, in battles yet to be fought. After his momentous meeting with the dragon prince, Wang Jian returned to the mystical elven dominion, his mind swirling with thoughts and plans. However, this time, he bypassed the welcoming embrace of his wives and companions and headed straight for the heart of the forest, where the world tree stood in all its ancient and resplendent glory. Today was a special day, a culmination of centuries of effort and dedication. Wang Jian had poured his vast energies into the world tree, mending its ancient wounds, nurturing its weakened limbs, and rejuvenating its faded essence. And now, at last, the moment of fruition had arrived. As Wang Jian laid his hands upon the gnarled bark, a surge of power coursed through the world tree. It was like the heartbeat of the earth itself, pulsating with life and vitality. In a spectacular display, the world tree unleashed a burst of qi. It wasn't destructive, but rather a life-affirming wave that cascaded across the lands. The qi of the world began to swell, richer and more vibrant than it had been in millennia. Amidst this miraculous event, Wang Jian gazed up at the towering tree and spoke, his voice resonating with a mixture of reverence and determination. "In return for healing you, I ask for your assistance," he said, his eyes reflecting the deep green of the leaves above. The world tree responded, not with words, but directly into Wang Jian's mind, its voice ancient and wise. "State your request, benefactor." Wang Jian didn't hesitate. "Within the divine spirit prison, I have a captive Yu Qing, a deity from the upper realms. Her hatred runs deep, and I wish for you to alleviate this malice, to turn her feelings favorable towards me." The world tree's presence in his mind was ancient and wise, its response measured. My divine essence cannot manipulate the deep-seated emotions of beings from the upper realms. Such matters are beyond my influence. A flicker of disappointment crossed Wang Jian's face, but he remained attentive. The world tree, sensing his dismay, offered an alternative. However, I can erase her memories of this world. She will retain no recollection of her time here, nor of the events that led to her imprisonment. A spark of understanding lit up Wang Jian's eyes, and a sly smile curled his lips. Erasing Yu Qing's memories would effectively nullify her hatred, a solution he hadn't considered but found exceedingly fitting. Proceed, Wang Jian said, his voice tinged with anticipation. He carefully positioned the divine spirit prison in front of the world tree, its ancient roots gently encircling the mystical artifact. The world tree then began to channel its immense divine power, its leaves shimmering with a celestial glow. The process was intense and demanding, even for a being as powerful as the world tree. After nearly an hour of concentrated effort, during which the tree's energy visibly waned, the task was complete. Yu Qing's memories of her time on the continent, her interactions with Zhang Fei, and her subsequent capture and imprisonment all were erased from her consciousness. The last memory she would retain was of her desperate escape from the upper realms, a flight from unknown pursuers that led her to this world. Wang Jian observed the process with a sense of satisfaction. He had not only healed the world tree but also found a way to neutralize a potential threat. He thanked the world tree, its branches swaying as if acknowledging his gratitude. Then, with a final nod to the world tree, he walked away, his mind already racing with plans and possibilities. In the vast, sun-scorched expanse of the western deserts, Wang Jian stood solemnly, the divine spirit prison clasped in his hands. With a flick of his wrist, he unsealed the mystical container, releasing a torrent of divine energy that spiraled into the sky. From this maelstrom of power, Yu Qing's spiritual form slowly materialized, her figure ethereal and shimmering under the harsh desert sun. Initially unconscious, Yu Qing soon stirred to wakefulness. Her eyes, clear as the deepest oceans, opened with a cautious vigilance, scanning her surroundings for any signs of danger. Her gaze finally settled on Wang Jian, and for a moment, she seemed taken aback by his striking appearance. "Who are you?" she inquired, her voice echoing with a celestial timbre. Wang Jian, unfazed, introduced himself with a hint of pride. "I am Wang Jian, one of the mightiest cultivators of this realm," he declared. "And you, may I ask who you are?" "I found you emerging from a powerful spatial anomaly." Yu Qing, quickly piecing together her situation, realized she was in a lower realm. She scrutinized Wang Jian, her eyes narrowing as she sensed the extraordinary amalgamation of energies within him, the essence of dragons, the blood of demons, and a sacred physique that seemed rare even by upper realm standards. "I require resources to reforge my physical form," Yu Qing stated, her tone shifting to one of command. "In exchange, I can offer you knowledge and assistance." Wang Jian smiled, a cunning glint in his eyes. "I can help you with that," he said, "but only if you agree to aid me in reaching the upper realm." Yu Qing, seeing an opportunity, quickly agreed. She then listed the resources she needed, items of immense power and rarity. But Wang Jian, with a knowing smile, shook his head. "None of those exist in this world," he lied smoothly, his confidence ensuring that his deception would go undetected. In reality, he knew precisely where to find each item, but revealing that would undermine his plans. Left with no alternative, Yu Qing began to instruct Wang Jian in the arts of cultivation beyond the immortal realm, guiding him towards the transcendent stage, the first level in the divine journey of the gods. Well, truckers, that's all for this part. See you all in the next video.